And welcome to the Division 4 Grand Finals. We stand for the national anthem.
We are young and free.
What a horrible start that was. Please don't. Boys, it's time for some grand final football right here at Albert Oval. Tommy Javora with a real deal Tony Neal. G'day, Tony.
G'day, TJ. G'day, Luke. How you going?
Luke Hosey, how are you? Special comments, man?
Gentlemen, how are you on this mighty fine day in September for grand final?
And with our pre-match, Tony, let's just talk about firstly the Div 4 Reserves Grand Final. The last kick of the game, Mitcham get over the line. 10 years ago to the day, right here at Albert Oval, Mitcham had 3 teams playing. Oh, we're right in the middle of the grandstand. We're going to get a lot of interference today. Apologies in advance. Maybe even some colourful language. But Mitcham, all 3 teams lost. Gepps Cross, C grade, beaten by Salisbury, led by Ryan Paget. The B grade have gone down. Will the A grade go down? Tony Neal, your thoughts, feelings, emotions?
Yes, look, thanks, TJ. Interestingly, I have coached against both these coaches, and they've both got 2 different styles, and Glenunga very strong across all areas of the ground. But I'll say here is straight up, names don't win games, teams do, and out at Gepps Cross they've been very consistent in their form this year. Adam Vittler is very tactical as a coach. So it'll be interesting, 2 different coaches, 2 contrasts, and you know it all comes down to this. And as a player, look, you remembered how you perform in finals, so opportunities for both teams today. Yes,
thanks very much to Adam Vittler and Brian Lees. Gave a great insight throughout the week to number 18, Dill Smith, to Andy Reid and Ash Benz. Both gave me their time as well throughout the week. Thanks to Jono the cameraman. Thanks to everyone here. It is a huge crowd at Albert and Oval. It looks to me like Gepps Cross are going to the right of screen. Glenunga going to left of screen. Tim Evans in. And boys, I'm excited. Here's the big matchup. The first matchup of the day. Andy Reid, the captain, goes to Matt Schmidt of Gepps Cross, the superstar. In ruck, I previewed this one. It's Baird versus Cathro and Wood. It's go time, boys. I'll throw to you, Tony Neal. Give us the play-by-plays.
Okay, so Baird it is. I've been impressed with him through the year. Up he goes, gets up early and gets a little left-handed tap forward. Through comes a player for Glenunga there. Can't pick him up, and there's our first ball up for the day.
Your tip today, Tony?
Yeah, tips, please, boys.
Glenunga by 10 points. A little bit going on out there.
Glenunga 16, I think the big oval will help.
I tipped him by 12 in the paper, so I'll stick with that. All I'm saying, Glenunga.
Third man up, Guy Ward there already. So they're look, I tell you what, have a look around the ball. There's only a few players, isn't it? Spread out, it's the old one-on-one football.
It's a fan pattern, isn't it? It's almost like a bird's wings at the moment. You've got your pack in the middle, which is the body, and it fans out into 2 straight lines, 6 contests either side of the ball. The bigger oval, I think it's got to favour Glenunga. Perfect conditions for football. What a game. Ruckman do battle again. Baird with a backhand, Malachi. Gepps Cross at ground level. Number 7. Going to take it. Sawalski, the squealer. Adam Vittler told me to watch out for him. Expect a big game of half back from the squealer. Quick kick there, a bit late there, Guy Ward. We'll have another ball up 25 metres forward towards the Glenunga goal, early stages. And have a look at this ground, Luke Hosey. You've spent a bit of time down the port. How do you feel?
Spent a lot of time here, football and especially cricket. But you have a look. I'm looking down at the Gepps Cross forward line. You got Gratz is certainly undersized down there, and I'm a little bit worried about Manning on Clark Rantassa.
First bit of open play, Baird underneath in best position, but Schmidt, he's smart, he's clever, he's good, he's off, he's running, gives it, looks like Tahana. Is that Tahana? It is Tahana.
Here's the one matchup already.
Yes.
Here's the matchup now. I'm worried about Gratz on Gibbs.
Lenny Gibbs goes to fall for Clark Rantassa. Good spoil there. And here they come. They should shake, they should break. Good possession taken there by Spencer Prowse, was it? Harron it was, pardon me. We think he's going to have a big game, Harron. Down the wing, but it's all Gepps Cross. 3 players in a row there. They go long, they go direct. Big pack flies, ball spills over the top. Good spoil, Glenunga. I think we'll have a ball up, Tony Neal.
Yeah, Big Gibbs has just sucked out the back too. So Gratz really has to be on his game today watching.
Oh, just for Wayne Knowles, who's listening, an old 12th man reference. Pierce off, Gibbs on.
Anyway, it is a matter of who controls the adrenaline first out on the ground, but also off the ground.
Yes.
But, let's see what happens. First 10 minutes, it's everyone's
free
wanting to
kick,
get a
goal
touch.
square.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Tony.
Rush through.
Yep.
Rush through. So Glenunga, it is a matter of settling the nerves, being there as a player and a coach.
Here they come.
Winning and losing. So
here's the captain.
Reedy, picks up. Can't quite get it out. Scrappy handball, but gets
Releases.
the player.
Reed on Schmidt, that's a huge matchup.
Yep.
We have seen both teams come to the boundary early, so this is interesting now. Gepps Cross are going to pick it up cleanly there. This is where the skill needs to hit. You miss that, and bang. Look at that player coming through there. That's Harry Prosser it was. And that's the other thing today with being a grand final, but all times through the year. Put your head over the ball, head down, bum up, and just take whatever's coming.
Just a match up down here. Mickey McMahon all alone in the 50. If they get it down in, they get it supply. You think he's going to have the match up? He's got Benny Rawlings, as I was told during the week. Has he matched up with Rawlings?
You'd think so.
No, he's gone with it's Callum Camp down there.
Okay.
Interesting. Bit of ducks and drakes from Adam Vittler. Told me it was going to be Rawlings. Sent down Camp. He lied to me.
I think there's a few mismatch. I can see Gratz and Gibbs really bothers me.
And they're tied on it here, Gepps Cross. They've forced another ball up.
Okay.
If we look down the line...
Apologies. It is Rawlings. Sorry, Tony. McMahon and Rawlings. Who's at full forward? That's
Wonky.
Big Wonky. Nicky Wonky. Sorry, Tony.
Just on this ruck throw-in, for the people watching at home, there are no wings. So if you just drew a line towards each goal from here, that's how the players are all lining up pretty much. Interesting, like you said with Grazzi, look at the mismatch.
Yeah, it's just
Gepps Cross
height.
got a great
Height.
mismatch in the forward line there by about a foot there, but it's a matter of getting it down. As I said, both
Exactly
teams
right.
been going to the boundary. There's no wings behind here, behind the centre of the ground here. There's so much open space there to be used, and it's easy for us up here. We're not out there playing.
What I'd suggest again is it's going to be a fan out. Whoever spreads better from the contest, if you win the clearance spread from the contest, you're going to have open play at the 45s, Tony.
And I see third man up. They've tried that 2 or 3 times, Glenunga. Jeppies have got a player out the back here. Who's that? Kyle Maniotis. He's about 15 metres off the back of this ruck throw in, just waiting for something. Players aren't picking him up, so he's going to run inside here. Baird can't get it. There he is, just as I speak about him.
Put his head over the ball, yep.
There he's taken the punishment. Didn't have to bend the knees because he's quite short in posture, but down it comes. There's a free kick turned around.
A silly free kick from Schmidt.
Yep.
Schmidt.
Who on Larkin, was it? Javier.
Yeah, just pushed him to the ground.
Javier's first touchdown. Javier, we know this, Luke Hosey. He's one of those guys, you fire him up, he plays good footy. You don't want to fire up Javier.
No, good, very, very good player.
Got Guy Ward, beautiful user of the ball. The boy from North Adelaide, Guy Ward, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't hang out with blokes. No, but a bad kick there and well chopped off by the
didn't
Gepps
kick
Cross
very well either.
They'll come straight down the line, Gepps Cross, high up and under. It looks like best position, it's Glenunga. Good mark, though, the big fella.
There's Gibbs again in there. He's worked down the contest. Gratz have stayed back.
Boy from Williston, ex-Williston player Jack Gibbs, of course, was released when Glenn came back to Williston. But anyway, ground level, ball one there, 39. Is it?
Tahana.
It is Tahana, but coughed up. Here they come, they should. Here's Harron, 1-2, get and go. Uses Justin Bonney, the young fella, goes wide, doesn't quite hit the target. Pressure on, Gepps Cross with all the pressure to put on here. Oh, he loses his feet, the young fella. But the ball is halved, and we'll have a ball up 55 metres out from the Gepps Cross goal. And I tell you what, take it a little bit. It's a bit scrappy early, boys. Taking time to settle.
Yeah, they'll take a little bit of time on grand final day to settle, just the nerves and get the hands right. So, the first 10-15 minutes just a bit frantic out there.
And I reckon you guys touched on it earlier. Once again, we get the spring, warmer day. Just even, this is first quarter, but the time it took for the players to get from this side of the field to the other side of the field, and Luke, you were alluding to that before, this is a wide ground for a lot of these players.
Very, very wide
Big
out
ground,
there.
and war of attrition in regards to the weather, the heat, have your hydrated nerves. Probably a lot of these guys haven't slept well last night, and, it's going to be who can stand up in the long run if it's a close game. Look
Good
at that
tackle.
strong tackle.
That's holding the chutney for mine, but play on. Sorry, Tone. As Gepps Cross out, ground level, battling hard, they win. Glenunga yet to have an inside 50. Could this be Gepps Cross 5th inside 50? Not quite. Ball spilt quick. Bit of pressure on here by Glenunga. They just need to steady, take possession. But Gepps Cross tackling is sublime at the moment. Plenty of pressure on around the ball. Ball spilling again. Another tackle by Gepps Cross. Umpires letting it go. Good umpiring at this early stage. We're going to have a ball up forward to the centre of Gepps Cross side.
Gepps had the first 6.5 minutes of play, but they've only put a point on the board. And all too often we see the side go down and score a goal, don't we?
I'll tell you what, Baird's covering a lot of ground. They're using Guy Ward, third man up here and there, but see Big Baird there, that Gepps Cross got him to the ground as well. Just things like hopping up and down off the ground can can really fatigue you throughout the day.
We've got Ryan Padgett on stats behind us, and he tells us that barely a goal was scored to the left-hand end. I believe that is that our Pernix end this today.
That's the Pernix end of the ground.
Only one goal scored, or maybe 2 goals scored. Of course, the winning goal was scored down that end in the Division 4 reserves. So Gepps going with the breeze and the scoring end. Not a huge breeze, it's fair to say, but certainly the advantage that end.
Another free kick to Gepps Cross. I'll tell you what I have noticed is how close the Gepps Cross players are to their opponents, and they're putting pressure on it every point they can. That's just a big high kick into the forward line. Up it goes, down it comes. First to get to the ball, not quite there. He was outdone, Jack O'Neill, 2-on-1, but the big beards let him go there. Just to pick up off the ground and snap forward.
Yep.
Interesting also, Glenunga, just a bit of indecision on some of their kicking early on, so that's that pressure. And here we see another turnover.
Roll the dice, middle of the ground, and it'll come off. Comes off for spillage. Here they go. Henke on the run, goes the burst. He looks for Nicky Wonky going into goal. Can he get the bounce? Can he soccer it? Oh, not quite. Pushed in the back, nothing
Still
doing.
in.
Ball still in. Good tackle. Oh, handball through for a point. Glenunga rolling the dice, coming in board, taking the risk. And again, it started with Justin. Superb all final series, been in the best players every game so far.
Yeah, the lad from Redmark's been really good this year, hasn't he? So another one of those lads from the Riverland.
Henke was free running forward there as well, but didn't get used. So that's a helicopter kick, but it's made it to the centre of the ground. Glenunga pick up just
Tommy
a quick
Butterworth
kick
first
there.
touch.
Young bloke, grand final. Not quite able to take the ball there. It was, who's that number 12? Lincoln Bennett it was. So couldn't quite take it. Look at him going in. This is what a grand final's all about. You know,
guys still finding their way, getting that first touch, getting their hands on the footy. It's always tough.
Guy Ward, the protagonist, that free kick was against, we're told. Smith under pressure. They've got it, or they've got him under the pump. It's not Smith. It's Jeffy Ladd. Applies the pressure. We have a ball up right in front of us on the wing. The score is 1 point apiece. 9-minute mark of the first quarter. Division 4 grand final.
13 goals would win, you'd think, today.
12 will win, mate.
Yeah, it isn't going to take a lot today.
Here's bad. Releases Javier. Javier this way, that way, inboard. Lifts the eyes. Here's Guy Ward. Hasn't got as much time as he might think. Good gather. This way, that way. Handball to a stationary ruckman. Silly play, Guy. But anyway, they win it back, and they win it back through number 17. That's Harford. He's tackled. We're going to have a ball up just forward of the centre for Glenunga. It's tight, it's tough, it's tense early. Scores a level, Albert and Oval.
And just have a look, Gepps Cross. I noticed on the last ball up again that Maniotis was setting up on the back. He's not there this time. He's right back on a player, back on the half-back flank. So coming out, nice take. Javier Larkham straight to centre half forward. Bouncing for Childress. I'll tell you what, that player left his player and he's been...
Oh, here's Reed. Mr. Electric outside. Gives it off to his best mate, Sammy Abel. Open goal this way, that way. Swings on the right. Diddle and went through the middle. First blood, Glenunga. He's missed. I got really excited then. Thank you.
I thought that was true.
Yeah, looked through to me.
Yeah, looked through to me, yeah.
Didn't I just fire right up?
So the nice left foot kick coming in right down towards the wing there. Nice big fist out to Tim Mitchell. So it comes towards the boundary right here in front of us, right in front of the crowd. I tell you what, Gepps Cross are going hard at it. Couldn't really quite take the third one there was Daniel Mason, but he's got back up. He's given it back. Dangerous, Larkham. He's getting a few touches now. Over the back, Gepps Cross.
Oh, here they come.
Here they are. And
that's Nicky
better shot.
It's
hit the post as well. Two. And you can hear that crowd in the background just quite happy about that. I'd say we're next to the Gepps Cross
Mickey
people.
McMahon.
It tells a little bit about the breeze, though. That was going through. The breeze took it into the post.
So third big kick in. You notice each time Gepps Cross so far have come long out of fullback. There's a little bit of work going on there by Josh Bald over the top of the Glenunga player right next to the boundary line here.
Just quickly, boys, how about the crowd? Isn't it up and about already?
It's 2,500, I reckon.
Yeah, there would have been at points. Maybe not two, probably about 2 now, but more than a lot of sample games I've seen this year. So, over the back. Here's Gratter. He needed to take that. Gibbs will run onto it. Not real quick, the big fella, but effective. He gets it forward, playing in front. Well done. Is that Butterworth? Not sure.
Brand Ellis.
Brand Ellis is the pitch.
Greats. Take
Got Greats high. Umpire says nothing doing.
Grabbed a bit high, I thought.
Oh, deary me. Can't put that one down the breeze.
Gratz kicked it out in the full.
Just a bit of panic there from Gratzy. Normally so cool, composed, the boy with the big butt. But and inboard, he's got an option. No, he's going to go down the line. No, short little chipper. And so far, Reed doing a good job on Schmidt, it's fair to say. Not
Joshy
exactly
Ball
tagging him, but there it is. Rantassa. Oh, he's a strong mark, but here's Schmidt. On cue. Bust through too, but not quite. Doesn't release. There's Harron. Interesting handball. should get it back.
He could play Harron, isn't he?
Yeah, and now they've got Javier's out. They don't use Javier, they go
Yeah, they got that man on. They got that +1 on the outer side.
They are out. Shades of the Div 1 final play, Div 4 reserve, final play. Looked like it was in the back, but again, Glenunga first to the ball. They release quickly. Now Gepps Cross with a chance. Tony.
Here comes Reid. Lined him up, couldn't quite take it. Gepps Cross not going to quite get out here, and that's a
Great tackle, you're holding the ball.
Yep.
Oh, how's the signal from the Glenunga player? Tommy Butterworth, umpire Butts.
The umpires are letting
That's
this
a great
go
tackle from the young lad.
Yep.
No, that's McMahon with the tackle. Yep. Hit up, kick,
nice
beautiful.
chip in, but he's still too far out here, so he's centre forward. Kicks across the half.
Yeah, that's the fat side of the ground.
Found the player with the green boots there.
He won't be able to kick this, though. Is that Henke with the ball?
Yes.
No, not with the...
Left-hand goal post, mate, straight through the middle.
The wind's coming into his face, actually, as we're sitting here, so
Yep.
you're
Left-hand
right,
goal
Luke.
post?
Yep.
Coming into his face, it's going to be a tough kick with that effect. Yes. As we see, he's going to line up, I reckon, what, 48, is he, Tony?
I reckon he'll kick that. Left-hand goal post.
He's confident.
Oh, Lord,
The man on the mark.
No, please don't say that word.
Place the man on the
Carry
mark.
on. Ground level, here's
Glenunga
Ward.
here just can't quite get it up to big Wonky, and Gepps Cross are all over it. Wonky just falls over there, and taking the
He
ground.
nearly ran straight into the guy on the mark himself.
I actually thought he was going to try and sell the candy. Got
Yeah, I didn't know what he was doing.
Well done for the man on the mark, actually hit the smother. Yeah.
So they've got Reid out here. They're trying to set up a little line here. Glenunga and Baird are both free. Glenunga. So if the kick does come out by Gepps, they're going to have to hit a target here.
It's going to go straight to Reid, isn't it? He's
or
intelligent
Baird.
player.
Look at Baird at centre half back. So ball goes up. Reid is actually coming in a little. He's just sneaking down a little bit. Anyway, ball on the far side. First player to the ball is going to be McMahon. It is. So he's tackled as well. So ball just goes out of bounds. So not a lot of spite at the moment. Players are still just sorting themselves out. Where, what are we? Not is that 13, 19?
14-minute mark.
Very surprised then that Andy Reid was allowed 20, 30 seconds sitting on his own inside 50.
Yeah. So Williski just goes to him now. Quick kick, here they go, Glenunga in front. Is it? Yes, it is. Sammy Abel. He's got a chance to line up the captain. Cometh the man, cometh the moment.
He missed that second shot.
Apparently,
the second point.
we were pretty happy with it. But
yeah, we thought it was true. So he really should kick this, though, shouldn't he?
And Glenunga, a lot of these players, Abel especially on the far side there, you normally see them leading up towards the ball. They give the ball carriers something to aim for, and they haven't been able to do that today. And that was a fortuitous kick that he was 4 or 5 metres in front of his opponent as he walks in now. Very strong with how he looks at shaping up. But I'll tell you what, he's kicked that on the full from probably 25 metres out, pretty much in front.
He didn't kick through the footy, did he? He
just poked at it. You're right, Luke.
And it's not on the full.
It's actually bounced over. The umpire signalled on the full, but anyway, ball comes in. I tell you what, he's throwing that a long way. Anyone at the back, Wonky can't get it. So just a one-step and a big screwy there by the ruckman, Glenn Gibbs. Out it comes. Over the back is Glenn. A couple of fumbles, and that'll be costly. Hits the ground. That's a 50-50 ball as well. Taking the tail legs out from under.
Well done.
Now they're away, Glenunga. Just a bomb in, though. Hoping on those tall players down there. Gibbs is back there as well, so Glenunga could clear here. Backward handball, and he's given it to Sawilski. Yep. Sawilski this way, that way. Gets it out. Nice and relaxed, Ben Rawlings. Across he goes. There's our little man again. I'll tell you what, Manny Otis, he's kicked that down to the wing, and they're out. But Guy Ward's taken that.
Big James Wonky's about to come on. I'd be testing Gepps' defence and have them both sitting up forward.
Harron got one high as he took the mark. Sorry, Hose. Should swing on the left here.
And Gibbs is on his own for those that are watching
look at that
the
kick.
ruckman. Yeah, it needs to hit Manny Otis. It is.
He's been good, Manny Otis. Probably the most important man on the ground at the moment.
Good intercept, wasn't he?
Yep. This kick, runner gets in the way.
Geez, he tried to take that on his chest. He didn't have as much time as what he thought.
The big fella, he haven't got much time.
One step, puts it up high in the air, 3-on-1. And
that man again, isn't it?
Yes, that man, Manny Otis.
He's reading it. He's going to do a nice little chip kick here, but patted out of play by the Glenunga. Very desperate
Harry
there.
Prosser there with a touch there.
Good little tap.
That'll give him a bit of confidence if Pross can get in the game. But at the moment, you'd say Glenunga on top. Scoreboard says 2 points, but being that they're going into the breeze, you'd suggest that they're probably got a slight advantage at this stage.
Just past 16 minutes in this first quarter.
Still quite spread out. I'll tell you what, Guy Ward's on his own just over the back here. Sorry, Larkham it is. He's snuck down the centre.
Didn't have it.
Glenunga can get it down here.
Free kick against Spencer Prowse.
And he's, is this his opponent? No, it's not, or it may well be. So just looking down the ground, nice, neat looking kick.
2-on-1.
Can't quite take it. Yeah, bang.
Courage there by that Glenunga player.
Oh, just centering that was Daniel Mason.
Brilliant play, Aaron.
Yeah, just made contact, didn't he? Good made contact. Good.
Really strong football to protect that space, control it, and then it releases the whole fat side. And let's see what comes of it.
Oh,
they
got players on now.
Javier Larkham, and now they've got inboard. Is that Wonky or Prosser?
There's a lot of players, I think, just walking across the middle of the ground here at the moment. And I'll tell you who's free.
They're going to switch and come back inboard.
Yeah, and Jack Harford's next in line if he wants it, standing right in the centre circle there. He's still free. They're not picking him up.
They're coming all the way across the side of the ground.
Timmy Mitchell needs to hit.
Oh, well
done. It doesn't.
But they got 2-on-1. They should clear the ball.
Gratz it is. He hasn't started well. I'll tell you what, he's ran towards the boundary again, and he's miskicked it. He's miskicked that.
He's out.
Dylan Smith.
And he's out. Here we go. Grant Ellis, the Pidge. Pidge needs to look up. He does. He looks up and, too cute. Here's Big Fish Wonky with his first touch. He has a fit of the fumble.
Yeah, he did.
Following it up, though. Good play. Number 12. That's Linky Bennett. My favourite Bennett. And he goes to full forward at ground level. It's all Jepps cross. Tackled. That's holding the chutney. He's thrown it away for mine. Yeah. But it's all Glenunga. It's going to come straight back from whence it came.
Javier.
He's got a player right on 50. He uses him. Now he needs to just hit one more target. Guy Ward's loose in the 50. Doesn't use him. Mantionis checks him up. Here they go. Fishy Wonky on a lead with the big long arms. Oh, he just goes underneath the ball there. But he follows it up. Ground level from the pocket. No way. Out on the full.
And I'll tell you what, Larkham had been free since one of the ball ups here, and he just was floating up and down. It's just interesting looking at their structures. He's got someone on him out there now, but see, he's drifting off. He's on his own on that far side again.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of footy and maniotis.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting whether they are opponents. They're playing off each other.
Dylan Smith, yeah.
I don't know. They put 18 on their own team sheet.
Yeah.
So just a long, high loping kick in down towards the halfback flank. Oh, pulled down there, the Gepps cross player. Umpire said let it go. Handball to the foot, but that player, he's quite quick this way, that way. He's going to run himself into trouble, and he does. He's given it up, but they've given it up as well. Glenunga back to Gepps cross. Maniotis, he's got leather poisoning at the moment. Just
all Glenunga again with that overlap.
Yep, I'll tell you what, the bounce has been fortuitous for Gepps cross. They've got out of it here. Just a bang forward and a hope to a big 50-50. Yeah, out it comes now. Greats has got to work here, and he's
was that a throw? Well,
couldn't tell from here, but he was right next to it. So yeah,
Jack Gibbs has got a shot on goal now. Look, he'd be kicking this on 50, and the breeze. If we look at the flag, the breeze has actually dropped. But I tell you what, Gepps crossed the 2 or 3 passages of play, just forced that ball forward, and Glenunga just a bit fumbly today at the moment.
Interesting, isn't it? Gepps owned the first 10 minutes, Glenunga have owned the next 10 minutes, but this goal will change the complexion of the game if he can put it through. Again, close to the man on the mark, high up and under, looks like good. Got the first goal of the grand final. It goes to Jack Gibbs, friend of Daniel Joyce, I'm told, which, something for your list there, boys. And on the Harley Heaven Firm scoreboard, it's Gepps cross 1 goal 1, Glenunga 3 points. It's a 4-point ball game.
And that's taken 19 and a half minutes to get the first goal. So, as I said before, this is going to be just a little bit of a war of attrition on who can hold up. There's been a lot of punishing tackles and one-on-ones, the ball ups, the pushing of the ruckman. So Big Wonky's come in. This is interesting. He's come into the ruck now, James Wonky,
Let's just have a quick look. We've got Wonky, Ward, Harron and Prowse in the middle.
Glenunga haven't stretched the Gepps defence yet, though, and I'm still waiting for those big boys to go down there.
Yeah, Nick Wonky's down at full forward, and you're right there, Luke. If you look around, they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah, I'd go with
ball
Big Beard.
On the player throwing around there, Gepps cross player.
Beard and Wonky rest out on the oval and stretch of the defence.
Schmidt, free kick.
Schmidt, yeah. Geez,
and no one on the mark. He's going to go long, down to full forward. Danger signs. Here's Clark Rantassa. Oh, nearly on the second grab. No. Ball at ground level now. I think we'll have a ball up 35 metres out from the Gepps cross. Oh no, ball spills out, flies out. Gepps cross, he's dropped the ball there, umpire. That's pretty simple umpiring to me, but I'll tell you what, you wouldn't be out there today.
Either. He was looking straight at it.
Maybe he got a tiny little cute handball that we couldn't see from 100 metres. We're in the beautiful grandstand of Adelaide Oval. As the ball goes up, Wonky over the back, wins it down. Taken high, maybe Greats, goes out. Quick kick to the pocket, leading into the race. One of the young Glenunga players. He should give an overlap handball. It's not quite hitting the target and goes out of play. We'll have a ball in 50 metres around from the Gepps cross goal.
And I'll tell you, Gratz, I know he meant that kick, but he's had 3 or 4 kicks, hasn't hit a target yet, which is highly unlikely for the games that we've seen.
Yeah, he's been really good, hasn't he? But he started a bit slow today, the lad.
And I can tell you, in grand finals, sometimes players go missing and or sometimes they get the yips and so on. I think he's a quality himself up
Oh,
just as we speak. Have a look at that. You know,
he is a
good on the
quality
young
player,
lad.
so
He's back in.
he'll come back.
Yeah, but just, you know, some players, these things can happen, but, you know, puts himself back in, get another touch. He's actually free in this pack, but's gone over the back there. Just trying to kick around the corner and can't quite do it. It was Harford. Yeah, so Gepps crosses pressure. They're inside 50 again here. They need to capitalise here. Can they get it forward again, or can Glenunga clear? Now, if you look around the ground, every Glenunga player is covered, and Gepps Cross have got to play about 30 metres behind the ball here. Big number 17 there, and here's Gratz. Now let's see how he goes. He's got plenty of time, and he's batting that down the wing, and there it is. He's picked himself up.
Hit up target. Yep. Well done.
And I reckon that Prosser,
coming down the wings well.
Dangerous kick inside.
Here we go, and this is where they go. And in the middle, he's got Prowse. Prowse takes it clean as a whistle inside the centre square. He should spin. That should be 25 metres. And high up and under, but that'll. He's dropped the mark.
Is that Andy Reid?
Taken high. No, Reid's on the bench. Reid just coming on now. So player taken high again. The umpire's not wanting to pay too much, and that's fine. We don't mind that in the grand final. We're going to have a ball up 40 metres out from Glenunga goal. Good transition play.
That kick from Spencer Prowse, he turned and he just bombed. I know what he was trying to do, but just that 40 metres, that's all it gained. So it's given Gepps Cross a chance again here. So just that little 29 now. I tell you what, Jared Clark Rentasa, he's at it as well. So
Ward turns his player. Here's Reid.
Here he goes.
Loses his footing and he's tackled. Could be in trouble here. Needs to get it out. Umpire says I'll have it right on the forward 50 for Glenunga.
I tell you what, he was out there. A player like that, if he could just bobble that ball up, he was off there. No one would have got to him with his speed. So Gepps Cross get the nice clean tap out there, and that ruckman Jack Wood, good tap. Out they come on the far side kick. A long kick down towards half forward. So two players chasing it there. Ricky Smith it is. Just puts it back a little bit. He's got not a lot of support there, and Glenunga will hold it.
Yeah, good tackle.
Yeah, just that player putting his arm up there is Larkham. Have a look. There's no one picking him up, and he is a very damaging player for Glenunga as the siren sounds.
23 minutes. We can have a special guest. Ryan Padgett's going to have a few words, just his thoughts on the game.
Beautiful. Welcome, Padgett. It's great to have you here. Of course, firstly, congratulations to your C grade, C4 premiers this morning. That must be great.
Yeah, it's good. It's obviously a pretty hard game, and with the win, the way.
And height beat speed.
Yeah, that's it. And I think Gepps have probably looked at Glenunga's backline and probably thought maybe it's not the tallest backline going around in Div 4 this year. And I think because of that, they've decided to play one of those three ruckmen forward, trying to stretch them height-wise, probably similar to what Glenunga might have done at the other end, trying to take Benz and Camp and Rawlings, the key defenders for Gepps, make them accountable as well. Camp's obviously very good across as an intercept marking type, so they try to make him accountable as the deepest. But Gepps doing the same with their ruckman. Obviously, like we said, great. So Manning to play on a ruckman, and then on Clark Rantazza as well, trying to make them accountable at the other end. Gepps, Glenunga have got good ball movement out of their back half, but if they're playing on tools, makes it a bit harder for them to take off and provide that run.
Yeah, it's interesting too. Mind X amount of times as well before this. They won the second semi, second semi straight into the granny, and he doesn't get flustered in front of his players too often and so on, and very tactical. So no matter what happens, he'll be working his way through those processes.
Yeah, he won't lose his cool, and what he does have at his disposal is a really group of even players across the ground. He doesn't have as many probably superstars as Glenunga does, but he does have a really even spread. He's got blokes playing a role, whether it's midfield or forward or back. They all know what they're doing. They've all got a specific role within the group, and very consistent Gepps. They don't drop off a whole lot. They're very consistent all the way through games. When we played them this year, they just wear you down because they keep that consistent level the whole way through games. Glenunga might have a bit more top-end talent, and they probably rely on that a bit more, whereas Gepps is very much system and role playing, and it's got them to this point, as you said, winning a second semi. I think their best, Glenunga's best probably is maybe a little bit better than Gepps's, but Gepps's consistency, because they've got that across all 22 and everyone understands their role, is what's probably got them to this point here.
And I guess, look, the other bit is remembering for Glenunga, they're up from A5, won the premiership last year, come up to A4, they've got another chance this year, and Gepps Cross have been in A4 for a while, so and I know they're both going up next year, but it is that winning a grand final as well. When you get that up on your wall, that's there for 100 plus years. Never gets taken down.
Sorry, Tony, just quickly, Division 1 scores, of course, a huge day in Division 1. Ross Trevor are down by 2 goals at quarter time over Tea Tree Galley. Wouldn't that be an upset for the books? And Goodwood by 2 points over Payne and Noy Junior. That's quarter time in the Division 1 finals. Is he staying with us now for a bit? Yeah, just give us the matchups in the middle. Who have we got for Gepps Cross there, mate?
So I think we've got Mason, we've got Jared Clark-Rantata, we didn't see a lot of in the first quarter, and Schmidt, that's probably their genuine best three.
Yep.
And I think it's Henke, Reid and Ward, probably their best three for...
Wood in ruck for...
Wood rucking.
Yep.
And I think, I'm not sure if I can see forward, and Gibbs forward again, which they're trying to stretch the Glenunga back line.
No worries, mate. We'll take the play-by-play. We'll throw it to you to special comments. As the ball goes up here, first tap, Gepps Cross, ball at ground level. Be interesting to see what favour the breeze does play. We talked it up a bit in the first quarter, but for grand finals are funny things. And just as we speak, the flags in front of the grandstand there, the port area, they're flaccid, Tony. But over there, there's still a bit of punch on them, and the windsock's got a bit happening towards the bottom right-hand corner at about a 45. So I dare say there certainly is some advantage kicking to the right of screen.
You don't want a flaccid flag. They've come up a little bit now, actually, but ball goes up right in the middle of the ground. Once again, the wingers have all come in. Third man up. We've seen that a few times today. Jeez, I'll tell you what, look how close the players are too.
He's out here. Guy Ward on the run.
He's happy.
Kicks.
Goes the
bang! And I'll tell you what, it took 43 seconds, and we talked about it, Ryan Padgett. If they get the spread, Glenunga will be unstoppable in this game.
That's right. On the outside, I think Glenunga do have the advantage, and it wasn't any talent. It was just they forced it forward. I think it was Harron just got a fist, kept moving it forward, and once Guy Ward gets on the end of that, there's probably only really one result. He's all class.
In a modern footy vernacular, almost the Richmond style of gain the metres, take the ground, and break if you can. And a bit of a fist pump was that there, Richmond man Tony Neal.
That's it. And just on that too, the finish with Guy Ward, you've only got to give him maybe half a metre, and that's what we call time and space for a player of that calibre. And he knew as soon as that left his footy, he had the arm going up in the air, and maybe that is the igniter for them. So up it goes. Glenunga players charging off the half-back flank, Gratz and so on. So there's going to be a big congestion here. Ball not able to come out. I'll tell you what, the umpire's paid one here to Gepps Cross, so the players now have to pick up. As the Gepps Cross player there, 38, is Joseph Tahana, sprints off to the side, doesn't get used. Out the other side it goes.
Forgives me, too quick as defender, Glenunga with good pace there. They should come in board, just make it someone else's problem there. Looked like Gratzy, quick kick, good tackle there. Gepps Cross running up to it is Gibbs again. It looks like, no, it's Wood. This way, that way, right foot high up and under. Manning underneath, best position, has a bit of an airy, but the ball does spill out of the immediate danger area, but running onto it, Clark-Rantata, left foot snap.
That's Jared.
Ugly. Jared Clark-Rantata, yes, and Glenunga will clear.
Manning.
Yes, they'll go to the far side, but again, Wood, best position, reading it well, look like McMahon to me, swings onto the right, players everywhere, they're out Glenunga, beautiful handball, here's Dossie Reid goes, he gets taken down, but it doesn't matter, the ball's clear, running bounce by Glenunga, they'll go to 4-4, one-on-one, it's Nicky Wunky. And good come across there. Who's that there?
It's Callum Camp, and that's what he does really well as an intercept defender. Comes across with a fist or a mark.
Yep.
A bit like Joshy Gibson from the
and that's
he left his player. Look where his player is.
Yeah, and he's very good at reading the footy. It was a forward originally, but very good as a reading defender.
To Harron. Harron, a flying shot on the left. No, near side. Scotch 2-2 lead. Seaton 2-1. It's a 1 point ball game there. It's a 3 point ball game at Alberton Oval, Tony Neal.
And Glenunga are coming hard, but they haven't had it all their own way. Jeppies have had it into their forward line, but both teams just seem to be. We haven't seen a lead and a mark from to a full forward yet. So I'll tell you what, this guy can kick it in a mile. He's kicked that about 65. So a good grab there, Michael McMahon. So just a chip kick in, misses Abel. Gepps Cross can't
I
pick
reckon
it
he was
up.
going for him though.
Around it comes. Gepps Cross wide here on the halfback flank. This player's had a lot of the ball early on. Maniotis. And he's hit up Josh Bald there. So Bald it is. Just looking down, it's the shortest of short kicks.
Yes.
And he's found Tahana.
Ironically, Bald has hair. Carry on, Tony Neal.
Anyway, Tahana it is, goes back almost inside 50 for Glenunga. Does that count? So player on his own now, just looking around there. They're playing possession, but you've got to be careful with this. You've got to get an out in a moment. They're spreading now, Gepps Cross. There's a player right in the middle if he wants him, and he finds him, and that's, who is that, number 7, Matt Sawalski. Now, I'll tell you what, there's been about 8 kicks in the back half here. Now they're coming down the wing. It's going to drift out towards the boundary and taking that mark, and a good mark it was, Daniel Mason.
A beautiful kick from Callum Camp. For a bloke who's a big, real tall, beautiful leg.
Yeah, those left footers, they do look good. Ball should drop short. It does drop short. Punch forward by Glenunga again. They've got the numbers here, but just missing it. There's the big fella, Bertie. Fumbles what he might have grabbed, and he just piles on top of the ginger-looking fella. Is that Luke Childs at the base of the pack, the young fella? It is Lukey Childs. Yeah, it's someone's child. He's someone's son, Tony Neal. Tap there, Bertie running in. Is that manager? No, it's not Maniotis. It's number 16. Who's that? Jack O'Neill. Ball being pushed forward. Schmid there. Release handball. Here's Clark Rantassa. Clarkie, they call him. Gives a beautiful release handball. Your hot son nearly gets caught, but gets the kick forward to the other Rantassa and chopping in beautifully there, the Glenunga player. Keeps it going forward, just pushing forward, and he's tackled without it. And that's the key to making the play, Ryan Paget.
I think it's Alex Harron again getting back in front of. Oh no, so it's Guy Ward getting back in front of Clark, who's a big boy. Not an easy thing to do.
And we talk about Guy Ward, he's super fit, doesn't drink. He's going to be very good in a big oval game like today. Big game player as they come. Here's Baird inboard. Sorry, Tony, you're on.
I was just going to say, Gepps Cross have just made the big tall ruckmans come off, and they've brought in Ricky Smith, who's still quite tall, but he's probably more of a flanker down there in the forward line. But once again, we see that bomb come in, and it played into to Glenunga's hands there. They were able to clear. It's on the half-forward flank for Glenunga now. Looking back towards the goal is four players, 2 on 2, and that's it. Inside 50. Now we see Maniotis coming back on his own, so that means Glenunga have got a free in there somewhere. The ruckman takes it out of the play. Glenunga come around, but as I talk, Maniotis, there he is, and he's been taken to ground. Huge tackle.
It's a great tackle by Nick Wunke.
And boys, just quickly, big news out of Division 1. Payneham have kicked 3 in a row. Come on, the Falcons. Sorry, 6-1 plays 3-2 is Nick. Goal. Let's stay focused, Jamal.
So Kai Maniotis there.
Thank you, Darren Saunders. Sorry.
He was on his own back there, but he had to stand and wait for that. And as you called there, Wunke just came through, applied the tackle, got him around the hips, which is the spot to be, because you're talking about a bloke about 6'4" versus a bloke about 5'10" there. And surprisingly, why wouldn't you put a taller man on the mark? So he walks in, lines it up, and
is it near side? It might be through, is it? He looks happy with it.
He has called it.
Straight through the high diddle-diddle. That's Glenunga's second. Glenunga 2-4 lead, Gepps Cross 1-1. And it's fair to say, Ryan Paget, as you told us in the first quarter, although people didn't hear you tell us, definitely the scoring end to the right of screen, which we believe is the HydroSmart Pure Water Shop end. If it's not, it's on your screen anyway. Ryan?
And it's a beautiful kick from Wunke, but before that, obviously Maniotis standing in the hole, but needed some protection from behind. Nick Wunke was able to come up and tackle him from behind, had no idea he was coming, and whoever it was down there, I'm not sure, it might have been Callum Camp, maybe had to give him a bit more protection, not let him run at Maniotis like that and able to get him holding the ball. Just needed to cover his back a little bit better, I think.
And just that man on the mark, they had Maniotis on the mark. It's a grand final. Why wouldn't you put someone taller on the mark? Just a simple little 1%er there, just to visually upset the guy running in.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, Tony. We can't turn back time, but yes, fair point. Not everyone's tall, though.
Thanks for that, shirt.
Schmid wins it, releases that handball. He does that so well. He is the extractor that releases the handball. Clark Rantassa really had an impact on the game yet. A few early touches, but at ground level, looks like Prowse battling hard. Ball up just for the centre for Gepps Cross. And it's fair to say Nick Wunke has been a huge in over the last 2 weeks. 3 goals last week, 1 goal this week already. Those Wunke boys,
yeah,
big boys.
Say that guy there that just took that, I think it's young Butterworth, was floating out there on his own on the back of that pack, and they got it to him.
Butterworth to Larkin to Ward.
Down the half forward, just paddling along, being held on to. Umpires let it go. They've umpired from a fair way back, and they've really let it go today.
Don't mind that. Don't mind that at all. That's how you prefer it, wouldn't it?
That's exactly right in a final, and it's a good duel there. I think it's Prosser and Ash Benz, very similar type of players, a bit rangy, skinny, but definitely can both go athletically. It'll be a good duel if they stay on each other for the rest of the day.
Very well spoken, Ash Benz.
So Jack Wood on Baird, and he's swatted that, and
he punched himself in the head almost.
I think Big Wunke there sort of took him out because he tried to hit that to the right. Now they're against each other, body on body, up it goes. Wunke it is, paddles it down on the left hand, away from goal, and right in front of the scoreboard he gets dumped. Over they come, nice, this way, that way. They're out now. This is where they catch out the on-ballers. The on-ballers can't get down the ground quick enough, and it becomes the old 50-50. Baird resting back there. And, well done.
Now, that's been a criticism of Luke Hosey. He doesn't do enough of that, but he's dropped back and taken the mark in the hole. It was Jack O'Neill that got the ball surging forward with Gepps Cross, but well done, Tom Baird. A typical ruckman kick.
He's kicked to a one. I was just going to say there was no one once again running past, trying to get the handball off him.
Schmidt again.
No, he's taken their... Is it? He's down on the ground, up at bobbles. There it is, just a little paddle forward. They're going backwards to go forward, playing the long sleeves now. Just one step, and it's going to come back towards Beard again. There he is again.
Well done.
Good chest mark. Is he going to go for the switch? Why isn't someone running past him? Because 25. That's why you can find someone.
25 as well, yeah. Good
meters.
call there, Ryan Paget. Looks like it might be 50 to me. He's still going. It's a pretty good 25. I'd buy some meterage off him.
That's his second mark back there in about 30 seconds, Beard. He positioned himself well.
Yes. Goes along, one-on-ones, up the field. Ball spills, danger area. Here's Henke, attacks it at pace, just keeps it rolling forward. Again, it's the big fish Wonky. Just tries to keep pushing. Oh, it's bobbing around like the old cork in the ocean. This way, that way. Is that McMahon? He gets the handball out. Here's Fishy Wonky. No, it's the other Wonky, and he hits the post.
Tell you what, McMahon just holding his leg there. He's slow to get up the left leg. I don't know whether he's done a hammy or he's just feeling it there. And is that McMahon in the pocket?
Yeah,
there?
it is. I think it looks like he's grabbing the hammy and his hand's just gone up.
So he might be gone for the day.
He looks like he's in some strife, I think.
That's a long kick out once again by the fullback. Do you know they've done this every time the Gepps cross? They've kicked long, 60 metres, the fullback, every time.
They do that a lot. Callum Camp takes the kick outs, and he's obviously got a beautiful long left foot. They don't want to waste it, I think, kicking a 15 or 20 minute short one. They want to get it out as far as they can. And when he's got the kick that he has, they're able to clear the 50 every time.
So they're trying to get the Gepps player, Glenunga McMahon, just holding that left leg. He's not going to be able to do anything as it sits. So they're away here, Gepps cross.
Glenn Gibbs.
The ruckmen are getting a few kicks around the ground. It's interesting to see, and there's what happens. Oh, push in the back. The umpires let it go. Glenunga first the ball. Couldn't quite get it up there was Brant Ellis, but bobbling around. Look at it. Look at the pressure from Gepps cross.
The pressure's there, but they haven't panicked the half-back. It's fair to say, Glenunga, they haven't turned the ball over. They've held it up. They've allowed themselves to be tackled and taken in the tackle, knowing the umpires aren't trigger-happy today. They've played it very smart. Just quickly as well, boys, another 2 goals to the Falcons. They now net lead Goodwood by 5 goals. Goodwood, a low-scoring team. Wowee, could it be straight sets for Goodwood? Let's hope so.
McMahon coming to the bench too, McMahon coming to the bench. His day looks like he's done if he's a hamstring.
Mason, that was, he got the kick into Gepps cross forward, and they have a mark, and that is
Jeff Ladd.
Someone's lad?
Yeah, Jeff Ladd. Good kick too, Jeff Ladd.
15, yeah, and he's probably 25 out on a slight angle. Should be a gimme for him, kicking straight into that Zephyr now. The flags aren't moving at all.
The man they call Laddie, apparently he's in the Air Force. I've got all these great stats on these guys, unless something's stitched up. Playing across half forward today. So this is his bread and butter from 30 metres out on a fairly acute angle. Gepps need this one. Gives it a ride. Looks like it's gone across the face. And one behind. It's Gepps cross second behind. They're 1-2, trailing Glenunga 2-5. But it's anyone's ball game here at Alberton.
And of course, Arnie Sherrill, what a beautiful actress she was.
And Matty Schmidt just come for a rest too for Gepps. He's probably been the most influential player on the ground, I think, so far.
So ball in the pocket here, Glenunga can't get it out. I often talk about this, you normally you'll let a team get that first little chip kick in, but there's pressure on. There's Glenunga aren't getting their own way here, and they're under a little bit of pressure. It's a matter of control in the head. Just interesting, Gepps cross, when you look at them, they look very controlled, don't they?
Yeah, and like I said, they don't get too overawed, Gepps, and they're very comfortable in their system, what they play. They're not going to get phased or worried by any scoreline or any position in the game. They'll just stick to what they do.
That's just a blatant kick across the ground there by Glenunga, but they're going to get it out because the players are running here, and that's Alex Harron again.
He's
long kick now.
He's
now
fast
they run.
for a big fella. He's fast. Can he get it moving? Just keep it moving forward. Keep it moving forward. Does he turn his opponent? Well done. Oh, free kick.
Wasn't much in that.
He swings. Here's Nicky Wonky. Little fish. He takes the mark. Oh, the umpire says play on. Oh, he had that for a long time. Ball comes back to full forward and it'll spill out of play. Interesting. He looked like he had 3 grabs, controlled it to the ground, and Luke Hosey thinks it's a mark, doesn't he?
Yeah, definitely not. The contact with the ground was probably what spilt it, and in that case, you generally say it's a mark, wouldn't you?
There's also a free kick going on here. The umpire's pointing right back to the 50 here. Something's happened. I reckon someone's mouthed off, or was it the runner was on, or the water boy or something? But the umpire's pointing, and it's come out to.
Free, is it?
It's come out to the 50. And geez, I'd like to know what that was for, because
it might have been just a little bit of umpiring advice regarding the mark to Nick Wonky, because I can't wait to watch that one back later on.
So, player just throwing his arms around, so he's had to just bomb this down towards the wing. He was looking for a lead, couldn't get it. 1-on-1 here, Gepps cross, and he's been held on to.
Out of jail there. Bit of a nothing kick really, coming out of half back. And
so one step, player leading down the wing, Reed in front there, just a hand to it.
Sawilski at ground level.
Sawilski ran from that kick was taken. And I'll tell you what, he's a bit of a bulldog, isn't he?
He's trying to battle in. He's trying to go hard, Skowilski. They look highly rated by his coach, the man they call Squiller. Possibly the fittest guy for Gepps Cross as well.
So Baird just gets a free swat at it, but Gepps Cross have taken it. Trying to push off Dusty Martin style was number 21 there. And tell you what, Daniel Mason, he's got around.
Strong.
But once again, it's that bomb in. Oh, flying high, unable to take it. Gepps Cross have got a player out. Oh, he's a left footer on the wrong side. He's ran off as if that's gone through. And I tell you what,
Josh
he
Bald
scored it, and he was pretty happy about that too.
It's an excellent finish from Josh Bald, probably just inside the 50 on his right side. Sorry, on his right side, but right side being on his right foot. He's a left footer, wrong side. The right side, that's the wrong side.
Yeah.
And I think it was Josh Ball just inside 50, and he's managed to dribble that through.
And look, it's a goal. You've got to make sure you kick those, though, because he had a player on in the goal square, but it has gone through, and it's a 3-point ball game here at Oval. And, boys, it's interesting. Scores can be made at either end. Goals can be kicked at either end, definitely, if you get the play right.
And that one was manufactured. He was out there on his own, just 5 metres off a player. It doesn't matter how you get him. It can look ugly. It can roll through. It can dribble through. It's a grand final. Any goal will do. And look, 2 goals each, and we're over halfway through the second quarter. On that Harley Heaven and Firm scoreboard, 2 goals, 2 Gepps Cross 14 to Glenunga, 2 goals, 5-17. Ball in the middle of the ground, a lot of players, just a 1 foot
very
step,
good.
bang, unable to take it. I don't know whether the Suns are playing havoc out there, but just right through the fingers
tackle
there.
Yes.
And they're wrestling in the background there, Reed. I think he's felt that a bit too.
I reckon he's got one in the little Andy, right in the little Andy. Looks like he's just...
No, he's up.
Yeah.
I think it was Matty Sawilski that he took down. He's not going to take a backward step either.
No.
So once again, the wingers are in on both sides. There's no one out for a switch. Gepps Cross unable to get it out. Out it comes. Nice deft tap here. Player running off the back of the pack. Here he is again. I'll tell you what, Manny Otis, he's been in everything. And he's given a nice little kick out there to Jeff Ladd. So on the true wing, grandstand side here, Alberton Oval goes long down towards centre half forward position. The pack forms. Glenunga unable to take the mark all into the back, and the umpires said no, let's ball it up. And I'll tell you what, the way the game's being played, there's not a lot of run and carry from a lot of the players, so that's probably handy for Gepps Cross.
It definitely plays into Gepps' favour.
The ball hits the ground there, no one able to take it. Ruckman now taps it out. They've just got this extra one off the back of a pack, unable to get it to him. Around it comes first, the ball, Gepps Cross spins around, and he's put that through.
That is brilliant football.
Jack Gibbs has kicked his second, just first to the ball, turn around, bang, and it was all over. Glenunga sort of standing there going, what happened?
But boys, sorry, the boy for me that's made the difference the last 3 or 4 contests has been Daniel Mason in the middle. He's just bullocking, he's just trafficking, he's creating an opening, and he's just managed to push the ball forward. Not necessarily an effective possession, but certainly getting the ball going in Gepps Cross'
Mason
favour.
and Schmidt, both 2 boys in the middle for Gepps, both big, solid bodies, able to break away from contests, or at least get, like you said, TJ, get the footy moving forward. Beautiful finish from Jack Gibbs on his right foot too. Didn't actually see the goals when he put it on his boot. I think he's kicked maybe around the 40 mark for the year. Very, very good player, very clever inside 50.
Yeah, he's the damaging small forward from Gepps Cross, and it is a 3-point ball game. And again, goals being kicked to the left of screen. This game is certainly not certain. Out here they come, centre break. Glenunga, this is where they're dangerous from the spread. They haven't been able to take too many marks like that at half forward.
He's run on.
That's got to be 25, and it is. And now we have a shot. And he's a beautiful kick for goal. Is this James Wonky? He plays on in the pocket.
Butterworth, yeah.
And Butterworth, he's run all the way down.
He kicked that, and he just ran in a huge arc all the way around.
Now, Harry Prosser, he's glad to give it back.
Yeah.
Harry Prosser kicked 77 goals last year. He is a beautiful kick for goal. I don't want to put the mockers on him, but lining up 40 metres out, breezes his back, perfect spot, needs to put this through for Glenunga, take the lead back for his team. Crosses the 50 from 40. Deliberate approach. Goal umpire does not move. Goal to Harry Prosser. That is Glenunga's third. 3-5. Lead Gepps Cross 3-2.
It was probably a bit unlucky there. I think it was against Ash Benz. Prosser had the footy. I think Ash has just probably tried to cover the corridor a little bit, moved a little bit across to his left, and possibly maybe gone over the march what the 25 was for, but probably a little bit unlucky, but it's still a beautiful finish from Harry Prosser.
And the other thing is, it was a quick answer, wasn't it, to the Gepps Cross goal? Just snuffed them out a little bit.
They hit the front.
Quick answer.
Yep. We reckon Ho said 13 to win it. I said 12. I think 10's going to win it, really. Looking at the game, the early game, it was 7 goals that won it, wasn't it?
So Wonky's just come into the ruck now, James Wonky, and just on that last one, there's only one player forward of centre. If he wins his tap, Glenunga, I reckon they're going to run onto it. Butterworth is in there, youth first experience. So Gepps Cross, a bit of a 50-50.
Here they go. Centre break again. Glenunga, they're looking dangerous out the centre, but playing from behind. Ball drops out the back though. This way, that way, Maniotis, but he's won a free kick.
got a free.
Callum Camp got it, I think.
It's against Nick Wunke, isn't it? Is it? No, it might be against Sammy Abel. No, it's Rawlings who got the free kick, and he spreads quickly. He goes to Cathro. No, he goes to Sawulski, pardon me. Ball at ground level now. They're fighting.
No support.
Ball halved, and they're still fighting. They're battling. 2-on-1 Gepps cross. Support finally arrives. We'll have a ball up 60 metres around for Glenunga goal.
Look at the on-ballers here, just running through the centre of the square. They're all caught either in a line or ball watching. That was the old 50-50. 1-on-1. Wunke it is who now takes ball after it bounced on the ground, taken high, and there's going to be a throw in here. Now we've got players around the ball. Interesting, there's still a few players on the fat side here for Glenunga. They're leaving it open for Wunke down in the forward line. So players, or ball comes in. Yep. Over the top there, that was Larkham it was. Ball comes out. Butterworth, he's starting to get a bit of it now. Like to see him run and carry.
Yep.
And Henke it is, takes it and taking the ground. Once again, Gepps Cross, they are relentless with this pressure. If you're going to do it, you've got to do it for the whole game. Yep. And I'll tell you what, they're standing up okay for a grand final.
The Butterworth and Connor's going to be crucial in this game moving forward.
They're trying to spread this way, that way. Gepps Cross looks like he's trying to hit a player, and he has. That is very intelligent. Luke Childs it is, down the ground. Up in the air, this is the guy they brought on, couldn't quite take it there. That was Ricky Smith, but he's received the free kick. This is the important kick.
Yeah, the Shrek here from 60 goes bang, looks for Rantassa. Manning's had his number today so far, it's fair to say. And he's been beaten twice before by him, and it's an ugly mongrel kick.
Out.
But it'll bounce this way, that away. Looking to make it his is Sammy Abel. Overruns it, but follows up with a good tackle. The pressure is on out there, takes him on, gets the release handball. Causes a spillage though. Glenunga just pushing it forward. Working hard, legs taken out, and he's paid it. You don't often see it paid. Javier Larkham, 2-on-2 down the bottom. No, back to Larkham. He'll swing on to the right. Looks for the man in front, nearly running out. It's spilled out the back. Luck's of fortune. Player loose in the goal square if he can get it onto him. Ball sits up, he swings. Right foot snap. There's a goal! Good play, Glenunga. Guy Ward. I reckon Guy Ward, with his second goal, has now become the most influential player on the ground. He's kicked 2 goals. Arguably the best midfielder. When he gets the ball, they look dangerous.
Yeah, good snap from Ward, but it was ultimately the kick that came inside 50. It was just an absolute mongrel, really, wasn't it? It's managed to get through about 6 or 7 different players. It's got out to Lincoln Bed out there. Really important pick up. Wasn't the perfect handball over the top, but did enough to get it to Ward, and it was a good snap in the right forward pocket there.
And in the blink of an eye, boys, in 2 minutes' time, Glenunga have gone from trailing to the largest lead of the game. It is only 9 points. Next goal now, leading into half-time, maybe 3 minutes to go. Absolutely crucial.
And Wunke's come into the ruck here, so probably should win this, but once again, there's no one forward of the ball, so Gepps Cross it is just into the middle of the ground now, ball bobbling around, and Larkham over the ball again, puts his body in. And we'll see another ball up here. So Wunke it is, just walks over. Looks to, I reckon it's going to go out the back here. There's 3 Glenunga players out the back. So that Gepps Cross doesn't even go up Glenunga. So Gepps Cross win it. Out the back it comes. So there's a few numbers here. Gepps Cross players put their hands up. Umpire a long way off the ball.
Umpires have been good. I've loved the way they've umpired the game. Just pay the bleeding obvious and shut up.
So up it goes. No one on that far wing. Down it comes, just a quick bob forward. Can they get it again here, Glenunga? Almost taken out of it.
Courage.
And that's a good grab.
Yeah, one of the young fellas, only 20 years old, the back pocket rocket. He's a real courageous young fella and beautifully done. Comes wide, looks for teammate. Lad.
Lad.
Yeah, he's been good too. Here we go, Butterworth. I've loved his game. Interesting kick, but does hit the target. And they go. They've got one-on-ones down forward, and they've got a player loose, and he takes the mark right on 50. Is it Bennett? Hasn't had his biggest day, but he's dangerous. And I'll tell you what, I reckon he thinks he's a chance. He's a big kick, and if he gets it down there, he's got Fishy Wunke. Is it Wunke or Prosser one-on-one with the big Nick Wunke coming down? There's Prosser, there's Wunke.
I reckon the call came from the coach's box as well there, so because he sort of had a look over and look back.
The breeze has picked up a little.
Just walking in, look, it'll be all right for him. He's just got to stick it out.
Post.
Yeah, I reckon stick it out the left a bit, and the wind will take it back in. So in he comes, and he miskicks. Miskicks.
Got the distance.
Yep.
Probably a bit early for a handy point, but
So we see Wunke come off now, and Big Beard comes back on, and if he can just shut them down. So a nice little lead here coming out here. Daniel Mason, he's on his own.
Reed on the bench. Also,
Beard's
we haven't seen McMahon re-enter the field of play. So some big names on the bench: Wunke, Reed, McMahon.
So Beard it is, puts his body in. Big punch forward there, ball to ground. Can it come out here? The umpires have let this go a fair bit. Now they're going to ball it up. So as we look at this, there's 2, 4, 6, probably eight players inside 50 for Glenunga. A little bit of congestion. Baird just tries to barge his way in. Gepps Cross get the ball out, probably 20 metres there with the tap, unable to take it. Quick hands, and he comes again with that kick. Now that's a better looking kick straight towards the goal square, and just touched
the
through.
line. It's 53 metre kick.
Wasn't a bad kick.
Interesting one as well. Well spotted there by Ryan Padgett. Andy Reid now, he's only a minute or two before half time, but he's already gone up the race, so we hope that he'll be back in the second half. They couldn't really afford to lose McMahon and Reid, surely.
So we see Gepps Cross once again. They're persisting with that long kick in. Ball just goes up, but the ruckman actually roves it and just goes bang. It's a very dangerous kick, that one.
Yeah,
and of all men to have it in the hands of, he'll find someone. Is that guy Harron?
This is Harron from 60. Now, stranger things have happened in grand finals. Stranger things have happened in grand finals than this.
Well, we're coming up to 25 minutes, so I'll tell you what, have the shot.
The beautiful left foot,
a long way out.
The beautiful left foot kick.
Holding it. Is he holding it for a drop punt? It doesn't quite get hold of it. It's going to drop short into the goal square, one-on-one. Just punch through, and through it goes. So Gepps Cross just out of danger there, but they're behind 3 goals 2-20 to 4 goals 7-32 now on the Harley Heaven and Firm scoreboard. Now we see the shorter kick, and he's hit someone straight up.
Yeah, look, all these players look like they're just about ready for half time for me. I reckon everyone's ready for a bit of a break. There's no great movement happening, and I'll tell you what, they need half time at the moment.
Yeah, you feel like Gepps are holding on for a little bit.
Yeah. But again, the defenders are doing well, just playing in front. Ball spills, play on. The umpire says he might ping him here. No, they haven't paid any of that kind of stuff all day, so no need to start now. We're going to have a ball up 30 metres out for the Glenunga goal.
It's a big couple of minutes for Gepps. If they can hang on and not concede another one, they'll probably go in relatively happy. One or two more though.
There. Big Jack Woods, the resting ruckman, as he goes in for that tackle there. He's not
round level, quick snap, and that's out in the full, I believe.
Wide and handsome.
Long way away. I'll get on the binos, boys, and we'll see if we can follow that. I'll leave it to you, Tony.
Yeah, I was just saying there, Jack Wood it was the free ruckman in the back line, not even going for that because they've got their 2 or 3 ruckmen on the ground.
And they've had times during the year when we played them that Cathro's done a lot of the rucking, and Wood has actually played as a non-baller despite being a ruckman size. He's very athletic, can get around the ground pretty well.
So short chip, we saw this earlier in the game where they there's a short kick out again. Possession game in the back 50. Now Gepps Cross, have a look at them streaming across this side of the ground. They're going to come to the boundary or they're going to chip short. One of the two as the players putting their hands up, but they're all covered. It's just an awkward chippy kick up in the air. Player not even actually trying to mark it. He's dropped that straight out, and the umpire has said, "I'll ball that up." That was Troy Mordaunt, wasn't it?
That might get us to half time as we tick over to 27 by the time the ball probably goes up and is contested. Couldn't be too long to go.
Is there a floater in that
Prowse
pack?
over the top.
Up it comes.
Schmid, he'll release. He won't panic. He comes inboard. Finds a hole where others have been able to. The big fella, and he just might see it out of play. No, he does.
Good contest by Charles. It's interesting too that Jamie Clark, where Taz is not having a good time of it in the goal square. He's come up to half forward. They push Ricky Smith back to the goal square. So Manning's come with him too, all the way up to half forward.
Just going to have it. So have a look at Larkham off the back of this pack. There's no one behind the ruckman. Larkham there. Taps it forward. Big pack forms. No one can pick it up. It's Willing now. A couple of players having a little bit of a dip off the back of the pack there, and that's Larkham. Now he's got someone, and not so getting his own way, but he's third man up. It's interesting. They've done that a few times today. It's going to go over the boundary though. But yeah, it's an interesting tackle. I haven't done it every time. Come off boots, has it?
Tell you what, last chance here for Glenunga.
This could be dangerous.
Going forward, 28-minute mark.
In good hands though.
Guy Ward, but there's not a lot on offer down there.
They've got 3. Gepps Cross have got a spare down there as well. They go short.
Prowse takes it awkwardly.
He's
got to go to 1-on-1. He's got to get it in there to the big fella. He does go, but it's an awkward, ugly kick. And nearly at the back there. But Gepps Cross should clear. They do. Handballs. Yeah, Rawlings out wide. Maniotis, is it? No, it's the other little fella. They'll come down the line. Here's Clark Rantassa. First mark of the day. Bad at ground level. Yeah, he's been very quiet. Here's Guy Ward on his left. Left foot, right foot doesn't matter. Nearly. Is that Harry Prosser could have taken a real dangerous...
Wouldn't that have been valuable?
Yes, it certainly would. Would have been after the siren shot. At half-time here at beautiful Alberton Oval, home of the Power, but home today of the Division 4 Grand Final. It is Glenunga, 4 goals, 8-32. Gepps Cross, 3-2-20. It's a 12-point ball game with the Harley Heaven Firm scoreboard. Give us your thoughts and feelings, gentlemen, from the first half. Better play. We'll start with you on Gepps Cross side. Better players with Gepps Cross in the first half.
Yeah, I think around the contest, Matty Schmitz had a really good good game so far. And obviously we talked about Mason working his way into it as well. Those two boys, both really solid bodies, have a lot to do around the stoppages. Maniotis across half back's been really good, used a bit of the footy really well. Callum Camp, even though I think he's had a couple, one or two maybe kicked on him, but comes across, tries to get a fist in every time. The other end though, they've got to find someone who can take a mark up forward. At the moment, Jamie Clark hasn't been able to take one yet. Mickey Smith hasn't taken one yet. I think Gibbs took a couple early, but then hasn't been cited as much. They've just got to find someone forward of the footy who can take and grab. Jack Gibbs has been good in his limited opportunities in the forward half as well.
Yeah, they've kind of had to create goals, Gepps Cross. They've manufactured them. You'd expect Clark Rantaster to always come up with 2 or 3. He hasn't. But as you said, Gibbs with 2, Ball with 1. For Glenunga, we'll throw to Tony in a sec for his Glenunga best players. Guy Ward with 2, Prosser with 1, Wonky with 1. So probably a little bit more. You'd expect Prosser and Wonky to get in. Would have thought maybe Reed and McMahon might have hit the scoreboard, but they haven't yet. They're both with injury question marks over the top of them. But better players in the first half for you, for Glenunga, Tony Neal.
Yeah, I've got Guy Ward certainly, Javier Larkham in there, Lincoln Bennett that quarter, and at this point, and Tom Butterworth, I didn't mind his second quarter especially, but that's what I was talking about before, and I won't name names, but the amount of players they've got and the talent they've got that are actually quiet out there. Baird was good in the first quarter, but there's a lot of players that we haven't seen a lot of in this game, even though they're up on the scoreboard. Look, 12 scoring shots to 5, so they've had the ascendancy, they had the wind that quarter at times. Glenunga, you know, Bald, Jeff Ladd as well, and you touched on before there, Maniotis has been good, but it's their pressure, and just at half time there we saw Gepps Cross all get together as a team for a little bit of a pep talk, whereas Glenunga were just so much trudging off, let's say, even though they're up on the score, but they haven't had it all their own way. It is a grand final, and that's what we come to expect.
The other one's Manning down the other end. He's had an excellent start. Like you said, TJ, he's been touched up a couple of times by Jamie Clark Rantaster this year. Just managed to get a fist in. Hasn't done anything too spectacular. I'm not sure if he's had a possession or maybe 1 or 2, but just the ability to get a fist in every contest in the air. Yep. I think he's almost been one of their most valuable, even without a stack of possessions.
Yep. Been really impressed, as I said earlier on during the call. Glenunga haven't panicked across half-back. They seem to read the umpire fairly well, and that is actually a skill in football. So he's not paying anything. They're allowing themselves to be wrapped up and taken the tackle to ground, as opposed to coughing it up and releasing a player that may break a line, because they're the kind of goals that can ignite a team, and Gepps haven't had the ability just yet. They've kicked a couple of fortuitous goals, but you don't want to make a mistake in a grand final, and sometimes it's probably to be better caught holding the ball half forward than it is to release the ball and allow a running player to shoot through.
And Glenunga do have a couple of blokes across there, I think. Who am I looking at? Josh Grates and Jack Arthur, who are quite smart footballers, not overly blessed with pace, but know what they're doing, and they're very smart. Like you said, they'll be able to read that. They won't cough it up. They'll wait for something to release before they get rid of the footy, and I think they've held up really well across the half-back. So well, obviously, Clark hasn't had a lot of the footy, had to come up the ground a little bit, which I think Brian Lees would probably take. He'd be happy for Clark Rantaster to take his marks up on the wing.
Yep, got some scores from out of grounds just before I go back to you, Tony. So we'll start up the top in Division 1. So the Division 1 second semi for the right to go through the Division 1 grand final in 2 weeks' time at Thebet. Obviously a huge game. It's Ross Trevor, 5 goals 4, leading Teachery Gully 4 goals 6. So perhaps a bit of a breeze down. That one's being played at Dally Oval, of course, at Hectorville. And in the first semi-final, Payneham have come out and gone bang in the second quarter. Payneham 8 goals 2, lead Goodwood 4 goals 4. So it's a 20-point lead to PNU. In Division 2, in the prelim at half-time, it's Brighton 4 goals 6, leading Foss Camden 3 goals 4. So an 8-point lead there. In Division 3, haven't got any scores currently, so we're going to shoot down to Division 7. And Division 7, O'Sullivan's beach Lonsdale. Were they undefeated for the entire season?
Undefeated at the moment, yep.
Well, funny things happen now. They've come from behind before this year, but it's OSB 1 goal 3. Pardon me. Marion Rams 5 goals 4, so a very handy 25-point lead to Marion. Now that looks to me like it's Panther Park with that little tiny ground.
That's Panther Park, yeah.
So Panther Park very much can have a scoring end.
And I think it was very similar in the second semi. I think Marion led them in the second semi as well, and Lonsdale came.
And just get ourselves up and involved in the game. Sometimes you need to will yourself into the game. And I see just on that, Sawilski, even though he gave away a couple of threes, you see that type of desperation, throwing himself in at the ball, doesn't worry about legs coming at him and so on. And that can be inspiring to teammates. And for Glenunga, don't just sit back and think it's going to happen. Make it happen. You need to be accountable yourself. Don't worry about someone else. Be accountable. Are you touching the ball? Are you doing the things? Are you doing the things off the ball when you're not touching the ball? Are you running to space? Are you being a decoy? Are you taking a player with you? Are you being accountable? There's so many little facets that make up a game of football, and don't be overawed by the occasion. Just know your role, as they keep saying, but it's easy to say but it's harder to do. Know your role. Be aware of the weather. Make sure you hydrate. And are you playing your position?
I'll throw to you now, Padge. For Gepps Cross, for me, immediately my first thoughts are Harron and Ward are having a day out. They're both, I mean, Harron's very, very smart. He doesn't always try and hit that 60-metre kick. He can take a quick kick. They're the two for me that they've got to stop. Where do you see Gepps Cross need to lift or change the game?
Yeah, it's very similar. And obviously, on the outside in the midfield battle, Glenunga are going to have the advantage. Like we said, Ward and Harron, Lincoln Bennett, these guys on the outside are quite good. Reid, if he does come back on, they have to keep it contested, Gepps. They have to make sure Mason and Schmidt and some of these guys around the footy. Childs is really good, really smart, clever as well. Make sure that they keep them involved around a stoppage. You don't have to force it forward. They have to be beautiful kicks. Just keep forcing it forward. Keep those guys involved. I think when the footy gets on the outside, I think Glenunga's midfielders will probably have a bit more attacking threat. They have to try and keep it inside, and they're not going to maybe just grind it down. They're not going to maybe kick 5 or 6 in a quarter, I don't think, but keep grinding, and then just find a way to get a winner up forward. Gibbs has been good, like we said, Jack Gibbs, but they've got to find a way to get, whether it's Smith or Clark Rantassa or a Ruckman, Wood, someone down there who's going to be able to find a match up to take a kick. Glenunga's back half are undersized. They're not massive. They've done the job so far, but I still think there's a way that Gepps can exploit them forward of the footy, assuming they're able to keep it inside at the contest. If it gets outside in the middle, I think they're going to find it quite hard.
Yeah, so it's interesting. Glenunga is a very open team. They do like to get the kicks to players like Sam Abel, and we're used to seeing Henke and Harry Prosser half it as well. You know, these run up forward, take a mark 5 or 6 metres in front of your player, turn around, kick to the next player in line, and so on. And it hasn't happened today for them. They haven't been able to afford that. It's just little patches here and there, but certainly not happening as it was.
Just willing the ball forward. Just quickly, boys, got to score in another grand final, and I think we've got a premier, boys, and a premier on the rise. It's CBC 13-4 leading Woody South 4-4, so that's 9 goals at half-time against a team that's looked near untouchable all year.
They are a ridiculous unit for a div side, aren't they?
The Raymonds and so forth. They've got some good football.
They'll do some damage in this comp next year.
In Div 4, they may, just like Glenunga, just visit for a year. Who knows if they keep that list together.
The gap between 5 and 4 is actually not that great. Obviously, we saw Paraka and Glenunga this year have, I think, 1st and 3rd after the minor round. And on the flip side, I think Hectorville and Smithfield went from 4 to 5 and finished 8th and 9th. So the gap is not that big. I think teams can go from 6 to 4 probably relatively quickly,
Ryan,
6 to 3 relatively quickly.
But Ryan, now I don't contribute anymore, but on those cute little forums, don't they say the gap from 5 to 4 is the biggest in the league, and Glenunga never had a chance, and wank.
Well, my tune's changed. I don't know if I said that. I might.
No, you didn't. A whole bunch of cretins did, though.
From personal experience, the gap from 4 to 3 is quite big, which I think's made what made North Haven this year, what they've done to finish top 3 and almost make a grand final was an amazing effort from them with almost a similar side. I think Morphy Parks found it a little bit harder. The gap, well, for CBC, they clearly would probably not be out of place playing in this game that we're watching at the minute.
I remember, and I'm going back to the 90s and 2000s, watching a Woody South in Div 5, just going, wow, that's the best team I've seen in the mid to lower divisions ever, and they went all the way up to Div 1. So it does happen, and they came right on back down once you start losing those players. But for me, I mean, it's always going to be the gap from 2 to 1 is the big gap. That's where the real, but again, there's an exception to the rule. This Spock team on the go at the moment. Oh, Tony's just brought out the snacks for half time. This Spock team, I mean, the list for Spock, they would have been a top 3 or 4 team this year in Div 1.
Yeah. And I think Brighton are showing as well. They've come in at 3s. Obviously, a bit different case coming from the Southern League, but coming from 3s, dominated 3s. Look like they're a chance to head up to 1s within 2 years. So maybe the gaps are getting smaller apart from the Div 2 to 1 gap, which is still going to be obviously relatively substantial regardless of year.
And just as we are at half-time, we'll just take a moment to embellish personally. The young lady is a young girl you've got, isn't it? just about to turn 1. Big shout out to her. My kids listen. Did you?
Yeah, little Esther. She's turned 1 October the 12th. She'll turn 1. So she's a bit crook at the minute. She's at home with Deb, my wife, but she'll push through it.
And is Deb still at the same school? We won't mention the school. I don't think we're allowed to.
Yeah, she's had 12 months maternity leave. Well, she finished in October, so she'll go back in.
Hey, don't put them away.
She'll go back in October. This October coming.
Yes,
next
and Phil from her school has won the 10-year service award this year. So good things happening down in Elizabeth Way at some of the schools. Yeah, you're still on, mate. And I'm just warning my wife. Tony's just pulled out the dried apricot, so you know what's going to happen tonight. I apologise in advance. It's going to be gas aplenty. Energy food, Tony. So, Tony, you're not happy with your mic. What's the matter with it? Just talk into it. Tell me what's the matter.
When I talk, it sounds very echoey, up loud.
It's fine by me.
But yours sound good.
My headphones, no. And boys, also, can we just throw that mic, not you, little buddy, don't see the other little guy. Some kids just come up for an interview. But just going to interview we've got a fellow here from the SAAFL. So really quickly, just welcome SAAFL Juniors. He runs the largest competition in the world. Welcome to the broadcast, Daniel Joyce. Welcome.
Thanks, Tommy. Great to be here.
Now, you've got a little bit of a vested interest here with some of your Gepps Cross. You've got a couple of mates at Gepps Cross?
A couple of mates at Gepps Cross, and used to coach Tom Beard from Glenunga. So, very interested to see how the game's going. Jack's obviously playing quite well so far. Kicked a couple of goals, Tommy. A couple of injuries for Glenunga, I think, in the second half. So it could be anyone's game, Yeah,
they're coming out now, so we will pay particular attention to that. Of course, your little mate, Andrew Rogers. Looks like he's celebrated a Div 7 Reserves Premiership today.
He has. He's managed to get in every single photo there is, I think, and he doesn't coach or play for the side. So it's nice of Andrew to do that. And
just as you mentioned, no McMahon, no Reid.
Neither, I don't think.
No, I can't see him at the moment. And they were
Reid off the back. Reid,
yeah. I'll tell you what, and here is Nick Wunke.
That's Wunke. There's
McMahon.
But not moving that freely, I don't think.
He's moving like me. So not a great
sign. To pick 100 in the paint and D makes a great, Tommy.
That's neither here nor there, Joycey.
He's just got on the jog, TJ, but doesn't look like he's moving all that freely. They might have a go, though.
He'd be handy at full forward, though, wouldn't he?
Yeah, you could probably afford to leave him there, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll just shoot back to you, Joycey. Of course, Marion looked like they might get the job done for young Andy Rogers as well, leading by 5 goals early over OSB.
In the battle of the Southern Footy League.
Yeah, so interesting there. Paynham, you might be interested to hear, up by 4 goals over Goodwood.
Very interested to hear that, Tom. Have we got a vested interest in that one?
We don't even try and disguise it, mate. Every time they kick a goal, I'm up and about. Tell us, Andrew, you've moved on from the West Adelaide Football Club, now at head office for the SAAFL. How's it been running the world's largest competition in SAAFL Juniors?
Yeah, well, it's actually just ticked over to be the universe's biggest competition, Tommy. So we've got 19 grand finals across SA tomorrow, 5 of which are actually here at Alberton, another 5 at Prospect and Eagles respectively, and then 4 at Unley. So,
and of course some more next week.
6 more next week for the under 15s and 16s. It's at Unley and Brighton Oval.
Yes. Now everyone gave a tip before the game, mate. You can say this was your tip. Who was your tip before the game today?
Tip before the game was probably Glenunga.
Yeah, they look like they've got possibly too many guns. And goodbye, Rocket. So, look, Daniel, thank you very much for joining us at half-time. Feel free to go down and buy me a refreshment, mate. That would be acceptable play. And, all the best with all the grand finals and the great work you're doing with the SAAFL Juniors and all of the local community clubs that you look after.
Thanks, Tommy, and all the best with your future endeavours.
Thank you very much. God bless. Thanks for your thoughts, feelings, feedback and emotion. As we look, teams just warming up at half-time here, it sees Gepps Cross 3 goals 2, Glenunga 4 goals 8 on the Harley Heaven Firm scoreboard. As we mentioned, to the screen. So Luke Hosey, welcome back. They call it the Premiership quarter. How do you expect it to unfold in the third?
I think that Gepps are kicking with the aid of the breeze. Doesn't mean that you can't score into it, because we saw Gepps Cross in that second quarter, but they're starting off 12 points behind, so I think you'll see that Glenunga might lay on the ball a little bit, soak up a bit of time. I think if Gepps only turn a goal in front, that perhaps Glenunga coming home with a breeze, with those lots of young guys with the leg power, they might just run over the top.
And I think on the big oval too, as the game goes on, especially gets into the last quarter, and it'll probably start to open up as blokes tire, that will probably favour Glenunga once the game starts opening up. So Gepps probably have to do a bit of scoring, I think, in this quarter, as you said, with the breeze, but because the fact the game will open up, that will favour Glenunga. So Gepps probably have to find some avenues to go in this quarter.
They need to be leading at three-quarter time,
I
don't
think
they, boys?
they do.
Yeah, I don't know if Glenunga play that junkyard dog type hold the ball up style though, but I think they're going to have to here. Certainly the first 10 minutes. Make Gepps maybe do something they don't want to.
Yeah, but there is a width all the way across Alberton, you know what I mean?
It's huge.
And because they've got the speed and they've got youth, they're playing 3 teenagers, perhaps they can chip it around, just move it, and as we just see the umpire doing a little bit of interesting sort of calisthenics with the ball, and I hope he's put sun cream on. Hadge,
Yeah, that's why I'm up here and not out there. Well, I'd like to be out there, but that's why I'm not down on the terrace and why I'm up here with you guys.
It's only 19 today, mate. It's not that warm.
Doesn't matter for me, Luke. It can be raining, I'll still get it.
if you want to go headphones and mic to him, and we'll share mics. All right.
No. How about at three-quarter time we get another set of headphones going?
We'll just share. We'll all share. That's all right, can't we? 4 of us on, yeah. Well, we got the commentary team of Luke Hosey, Tommy Javor, the Salisbury superstar and red hot tip for the best and fairest, Ryan Padgett, and of course the real deal, Tony Neal, the coaching guru. And what we're going to do, Padge, you're going to feed me the names in the middle for Gepps Cross so we can have a look at this matchup, because we talk about the premiership quarter. Reid, obviously all better. Looks like he's going in the middle.
Seaton by a point over Scotch at half-time, just for our listeners.
Yeah.
Seaton by a point over
Some
Scotch.
big grand finals going on here. So in the midfield, it looks like to me we've got for Glenunga, we've got Reid. Looks like Ward. Harron is back in there with Big Birdie. For Gepps Cross, is it Reese McEntee in there? Yeah, the B-grade coach. Schmidt.
McEntee, Schmidt, and I think that's Mason off the back there.
Yep. And of course, is that Wood or Cathro? That's Wood, isn't it? Cathro.
Jack Wood.
Cathro.
Wood. Yep. All right, and we're off and running. Gepps Cross, first break, quick kick. Remember, Glenunga got a goal in 43 seconds. Can Gepps Cross replicate it? Clark Rantassa releases a handball. Ground level again. That half-back line, they're not panicking. They release an underground Gary McIntosh-style handball, and they're out here with the numbers leading in the ball. It looks like Prosser to me. He takes possession, spins, he's tackled over the line. We'll have a ball in.
Sammy Abel, I think
Sammy Abel. Yeah, the man with the long levers.
Yeah, they've got to hold the ball up these first 10 minutes of this quarter. They really do, Glenunga. They don't need an avalanche of 4 or 5 goals from Gepps.
As the ball goes up here, sorry boys, just having a look at some scores from out of grounds, and we got some tight, tense, tough games here. It's a huge day. It's a beautiful day for football. It's 18 degrees here at beautiful Alberton Oval. Of course, we're here for the Div 4 football grand final for the SA Footballer TV, Luke Hosey Productions, and so many great sponsors: Harley Heaven and the Firm, Hydra Smart, and Pernix Smarter with data. Ball in, far side. I'll get on the binos. Ryan, you're on.
Can't tell.
That's why you're on, mate.
Thanks for that, TJ.
It's hard, isn't
Sam
it?
Abel there. I can see Harron trying. Oh, no, it's not Harron. I think it's
Harron.
Bennett's picked up Harron now on the left. I think
Down the line,
Liam
here's
Bennett.
Bennett. He's got out the back here, releases the handball.
got
Here's
one
Prosser,
on.
just out of play. And people say to me all the time, how do you do it? How do you follow the players? How do you know all the names? It's really, really hard.
You're looking from 200 metres away. It's pretty hard.
it's much harder at a stoppage when there's 15 of them around the footy.
Yeah, there is.
And that pole keeps going in. Ball in. I'm on the binos here, so you're going to have to call it, please, Luke Hosey.
Big Jack Wood in the ruck against Beard. Ball going nowhere. Spencer Prowse, Andy Reid on the bottom there. Gepps coming back through the middle of the ground, and that's Matty Schmidt coming through.
Yeah, good release handball by Tahana there.
Yep.
Yeah, he set Schmidt up. Good contest here. Ball spilled. No, here's Schmidt. I don't think it might have been.
I think it was Mason before.
Yeah, Mason that got the
Mason,
kick.
yeah.
Oh, ground level. Great pick up. Clean. Very clean there by
Just
Glenunga.
great.
Just overcooks the kick, though, and they'll scored it out of line right in front of the Alan Scott headquarters.
Both big units, Mason and Schmidt, aren't they?
And very similar build. Very hard to tell apart. Both very similar players. Very good players.
Yeah, they're at gun midfield.
Just strong bodies in the Gepps midfield. Really strong bodies.
Ball in here, out of side. 75 metres around from the Glenunga goal. Glenunga get it pushing forward from the inaccurate throw in, but we're hitting it well. Looks like Wilski, or the umpire says nothing doing. And we'll have a ball up 60 metres out from the Glenunga goal. Valuable early minutes being chewed up as we just come up to the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. It's Glenunga by 12 points.
Gepps have to get Clark Rantassa into the game.
Both of them.
Yeah, and also Glenunga probably Mickey McMahon has to get into the game a little bit more.
On cue, here comes Jamie. but up across half forward again, Jamie Clark-Rantasa. Ricky Smith gone to the goal square.
Interesting
just with
to
Jack
note
Gibbs around him.
as well. Both nicknamed Clarkie. They're really, really creative with the nicknames there on the Clark-Rantasa boys. Both called Clarkie. And my big fear for those two boys is they played a lot of lower division footy. Div 4 grand final. It's a different beast, and they haven't quite been able to come into the game yet. Time will tell. It's far from over here at Albion Oval as the ball comes in. That looked like a kick out of mid-air there.
Beard, I think it was.
Yes. Went the wrong way though, Beardy. Come on, mate.
The one good thing with Clark-Rantasa, that if he gets a mark, is a very, very good kick for goal. Doesn't miss too often.
He's a beautiful kick, but he hasn't had a shot yet, mate, so
No.
makes it tough to kick him.
It does.
Ball in, far side, 70 metres around from Gepps, cross goal. Good strength there by the Gepps ruckman. Gets it, releases. Quick kick, hot spot, danger area. Player in front for was the Glenunga player. Did well. Taps it to Hana though. This way, that way. Tries to spin. You might be gone, but the
Great
umpire
tackling.
says...
That's great, desperate effort, isn't it?
Good tackling not to give away the free. We're going to have a ball up 14 metres out from the Gepps cross goal.
It was a good spoil by Justin Bonney, I think. And Jack Wood, that's what he can do at stoppages. He's very agile for a big bloke.
Wins the tap, beautifully tapped down.
It's a goal of Gibbs.
Yes, well done. Oh, open goal, 15, 20 metres out. And the Glenunga crowd give him the Bronx cheers.
Gee, one he really should have got, shouldn't he? 15 yards out, running into open goal.
All three goals they kicked today were harder than that. It was a very, very easy shot from 15 metres out. As you said, Hose, pressure's a funny thing in football, but it's still, they've got it down that end.
Credit so far, I think, to Aaron Manning's played a great game on Clark-Rantasa. Rantasa with 6-2 and 6 so far.
Tahana.
He's had the better of it.
Started this quarter well, Joey
All
Tahana.
Glenunga, they spoil each other. And at ground level, here's the other Clark-Rantasa, it looks like to me. Ball might go out of bounds, no. And yes, it does, just to score it over the line. From the short, portly boundary umpire will ball it in 30 metres around from the Gepps cross goal.
He won't want to look at that again, I don't think, Jack Gibbs. that open goal. He's a great kick too. He will be absolutely shattered that he missed that.
Would have been his third and it really would have lit this game up. Oh, quick clearance there. High up and under kick. Hasn't gone 15 for mine. Anyone's ball. Knocked down towards the goal. Clark-Rantasa. Overhand handball. Scissor kick out the air.
Oh, someone's goal.
He's paid it.
I think Tommy Wyatt has actually managed to handball that out of that stoppage.
Yeah.
And I think it might have been Dan Mason who got his foot to it just as it's gone before. Just as before it's gone over the line. I think Dan Mason's claiming it.
Yes, he's probably kicked it maybe from a foot or two out.
But it's claiming the high fives on the way back.
Yeah, but it was great work by Tommy Wyatt at that stoppage just to get himself through. He's not a big boy, Tommy Wyatt. It's only a small guy, but to manage to get himself through and get that handball released forward, just created that goal there for Mason.
And we say it all the time, Padge. It doesn't have to be your day, but it can be your moment. That might be his first really big touch in the grand final. When it sets up a goal, keeps it interesting.
He's
very, very interesting.
He's a beast, Mason, too. He's a big unit.
5-point ball game here. 6-minute mark, third or premiership quarter. Tap one by Baird. Harron at ground level. Here's Reid. He's tackled and he's well tackled, but he gets the handball. Well, the umpire says no. You took too long.
That is a brilliant tackle by Sawulski. An absolutely brilliant tackle.
Try to break the tackle. Caught.
Did get the handball though. A lot of the time in the AFL that's play on, he got the handball, but didn't get it on straight away. So great tackle, Sawulski.
Reid holding his shoulder too, boys.
Yeah. Oh, good spoil
well
there. Really good. Not to give away. That's Henke, was it?
Yeah,
he's
Josh
done well.
Henke.
Henke, of course, coming in for his far hearts. Probably say it's worked at this stage. Great. It's the second time he's done that today. Effective down the line. Inboard. It's all Jets cross. Sawulski overruns it. It's three of them. 4 on 1, and they release. They should hurt him here. Here's Prosser. Up and under kick. Looks for good spoil. Well done,
Callum Camp. What he does well, cuts across.
Yeah, brilliant play, Callum Camp.
Wasn't
Big
a good
Birdie
kick.
in a foot race. He leads to the ball, but he falls over. Little hand in the back might have helped Wood. He's more agile and he gets it inboard. Here's Schmidt, the danger man.
Should have done better with that from Glenunga. 4 on 1 then.
Underneath it, big pack flies. They'll come out. They should clear Glenunga. Clean hands required. He does have clean hands. Quick kick, Javier, but well done, Wood. He takes it. He goes. He pushes off from 60. Goes bang. It's a 1-on-1. And Gepps cross. Oh, he might have taken it, but he didn't. Who's that down
Ricky
there, Paige?
Smith, I think, boys.
Smith, the Shrek, the man who headbutted the ball in one of the earlier games we called this year. Comes out back. Schmidt is it on the fly. Left foot snap. One behind.
Tell you what.
Gepps is doing all the attacking, aren't they?
They are. And Jack Wood started this quarter really well on the ruck. As
He's been really good.
Really agile. Gets around the ground. He has played as a ruck rover at times this year, and had with Cathro in the ruck at the same time.
Yeah, surprised how agile he is. He goes really well, doesn't he? Pads around the ground. Beard's more lumbering, but yeah, he's very good. Ball goes out of
Good kick
side.
out.
Mark to Glenunga.
Here they go. And this
Tommy
is where they look
Butterworth.
dangerous. This is where they're dangerous, Hose. If they can get out the back. Henke's over the back if they can get to him. Maybe.
There's Tommy Butterworth.
Butterworth was really good in that second quarter. What have you seen so far, Tony Neal, this quarter?
Yeah, just the pressure, Gepps Cross, and they've got a bit of a sniff. They're starting to push through tackles now, pushing players off. I think that was big Jack Wood there, when he took that ball. I mean, it's a long way back from here. They're, on that far side again. It's 2 or 3 kicks to goal. But I just reckon Gepps Cross have got a bit of a sniff here. If they can just maintain like this composure, one handball out, they've got players that are just willing to run a bit harder, get out into spaces here and so on. There's another one there. One of the on-ballers run down. Now they're away again. Here we go. Just needs to hit the target. Doesn't quite.
Brilliant.
Good work back there. Is that great?
Justin Bonney, I reckon. Yeah,
Bonnie,
Justin Bonney.
Yeah, and
he's had a really good final
that was a
series.
saving grace.
Yep.
2 possessions and a kick, and they're just about having a shot for goal again.
My concern's the last quarter. If Glenunga get in front, I thought that second quarter that Gepps looked a bit cooked. Yeah.
Certainly late in the quarter, both teams looked out on their feet, but they'll reload here. Looks like all hands back on deck for Glenunga as well. McMahon sitting right down, the only man in the 50, but a handy man to have down there.
I think Gepps is starting to win the stoppages too, boys. There's another one here. They're going to come away with it. Like we said, if they get...
Oh, no, he's gone the wrong way. 30 metres, kicked it straight to bed.
That's through Wood, isn't it?
Yeah.
The big fella.
And same pattern as the first goal, boys. It was all Gepps for the first 10 minutes of the quarter. If Glenunga get it down and kick a goal, all of a sudden this game changes. So Glenunga not in any great rush. Again, we've seen 1 goal so far this quarter. Good mark there.
Thank you, Bennett. Gepps is starting to get on top of the stoppages, and they're able to just force it forward, not through any amazingly great kicking or anything like that, but just able to work it forward. Jared Clark missed the target the last one, but they're on top around the footy.
There's Big Beard. Prosser. Ball going nowhere. They're on the far
Sammy
side.
Abel, he's dangerous. Swings on his right, and Wonky doesn't quite get there. Tries to push through, releases. They've got a player on in the middle here, on the left foot.
Oh, the handball.
And Reid had a handball there too. Reid had a handball.
Yep. Mind you, the player wasn't exactly going off his nut calling for it, but Reid probably should have given the handball there. Missed on the left, but it's locked down the Glenunga end now.
5 points to the tune of Glenunga. So 4-4-28 to 4-9-33.
Oh. Lucky from Callum Camp. Gave Prosser a look at it.
Ball going back through the middle of the ground.
Good mark.
Brant Ellis, is it?
Yeah, no,
a great mark from Ellis.
The Pidgey Brant Ellis. Again, this Glenunga half back line and back line at the moment, they're holding up Gepps Cross.
They are.
So
no name, no frills.
Unheralded blokes, some of those. Ellis, Bonnie.
Andy Reid coming for a spell. Here's one keel fly. Doesn't quite get up. Ground level, he does a tackle. Oh, suplex city.
Great tackle.
The other word, but that's a bit of Brock Lesnar about that one.
Yeah, Josh Bald will feel that tomorrow, I think.
Yes. And that ground will be very firm out there. There's the ball up there. One by Glenunga, third man up, running onto it. On his wrong side, though. It's Prosser on the left.
He has not finished that.
No, you didn't, Harry Prosser. The boy from Mercedes College has just given us a special. The man they call Pross kicks Glenunga's 5th. And could that be the goal that changes the grand final?
He has literally run towards the Bob Quinn stand, not even looked at the goals, and chucked it on his left foot.
That is a great goal.
That is a ridiculous finish.
Puts him out back to 11 points and 11 and a half minutes into this third quarter. So
sometimes, boys, there's a saying in football, don't get your ambitions and capabilities confused, but when you go on instinct, good things can happen. And he went on his instinct and he kicked a goal on the left. Well done, Harry Prosser.
Gepps Cross have been pushing hard this quarter. Glenunga get it down there, comes back out, gets it back down there, like you said, fortuitously put it on the boot, and through it goes for a goal. And it just gives them that little bit of breathing space now. And at the back of the pack there again, Guy Ward,
left foot long. Here's the fish
again.
He hasn't
so could
done
have been Glenunga's turn to get it down there a few times. Can't quite get that up.
There he is, ground level, battling hard there, Wonky. And I tell you what, they're not going to get any shorter in the last quarter, those two big Wonky boys down at full forward.
It's amazing what a goal can do, TJ.
Yeah.
Kick a goal, Glenunga win the next stoppage.
Yeah, and they're up and about. They're zipping around the contest. Ball spills, it's bobbing around. Umpire's going to have a ball up 45 metres out. And third quarter, Glenunga by 9 points, 11 points make that. Next goal, absolutely crucial. At the back, Javier Larkin will lead into the ball. Well done there, Lukey Childs. Gets held, doesn't get the free. They've got the numbers. They'll release. Back to Guy Ward, this way, that way. He's a two-footed player. What a stupid comment. Uses his right this time, though. Comes back down to Gepps Cross. Here we go. You're on. No, it's back to Javier Larkin. Fumbles. Here's Clark Rantassa. Needs to lift. Needs to come into it. He's tackled. Falls down with the ball. Umpire says...
Grabbed him by the leg.
trip, I think.
Yeah, grabbed him by the leg.
Harron, brilliant play. Again, it's on now. The heat's in the kitchen. Spills out. Clark Rantassa, player coming from the back. Manny Otis has been a lot quieter this quarter. Doesn't pick it up. Pressure from Harkham. Puts the body on.
Is it Aaron Manning, I think,
Aaron
or
Manning.
Harford? Manning.
It is
well
Manning.
done,
Keeps
Manning.
it going. And they keep it going. Here's Linky Bennett. Linky Bennett keeps it going. Again, they're just battling. Grand final football. Put that 30
well done,
seconds.
Manning. Well done, Manning. Yeah.
Great win by Aaron Manning. He's coming for a break. I think he's cooked.
Yeah.
But Jamie Clark managed to get involved with the footy there and still...
Dylan Smith coming back onto the ground.
And that's Ward, isn't it? Setting the play up behind the ball. He's been used, Ward.
Gratz got the job now on
good
Clark
tackle.
Rantassa.
Yeah, and as soon as he sees Greats come on, smaller body, goes straight back to the goal square, try and isolate
Well,
himself.
umpire's found a free. He hasn't done that all day, but he's found one this time.
I
And
suspect Manning will only have a few minutes off, Padgy.
I don't think he'll be there too long.
Manny Otis with the free there. Bennett gets up a little bit proppy. Looks like he's caught one of the old Jad's crackers. Manny Otis down the line. Ooh! Big punch, Tommy Baird. Harron at ground level, the danger man. He's been awesome. Javier Larkin through half forward. Kicks over the top. Oh, ball will fly. Halves the contest. Comes down with the ball.
Free kick.
It's a free kick to Callum Camp.
And
it's
25.
It's a little bit rough, the 25.
Well there, Callum Camp. Positioned himself under the footy as well as he could.
Now, how would you heard that whistle then?
Probably wasn't the best kick coming in from Larkham, to be honest. He's put it up in the air.
No, it wasn't a good kick. No,
but you can see
you're right.
what happens there. As soon as Gepps, the ball gets away from that stoppage, it was a big fist. I'm not sure who it was, maybe Wonky. Once they're out in space, but Harron and those guys can do some damage.
I see the free. I didn't see the 25. I thought that's a bit stiff, but yeah.
Anyway, play on, ball at half forward now for Gepps Cross. I'll tell you what, we've got an exciting game here. Everything we expected and more. It's Glenunga by 11 points. The biggest margin of the day may actually be 11 points, I think, boys. I could be wrong. Anyway, ground level. Gepps must get the next goal to keep this alive.
Back to that half-time lead, isn't it?
Sorry, it was 12 points at half time. It would have been the biggest lead of the game, but only 11 points now. Tony, what are you seeing?
Just Butterworth's about to come on now, and there's a little bit more speed they're going to add to the game. He had a really good second quarter, and he's really busting to get on here on the sideline.
He's dropped that. That's got to be holding the ball.
Surely. Umpire blindsided.
Yeah, blindsided. Fair enough. Javier Larkham at ground level. He's tackled. He's hit high. Nothing doing. A man with a leg caught in there. Looks like he might be even cramping up, is he? Or
and just with
cramping up.
And Manny Otis as well. It's just been doing a fair bit of running, so they're starting to just sort of run along the top of the ground now. And sorry, not on top of the ground. They're starting to run into the ground a little bit. So players are starting to come on and off a little bit more frequent there. And just look at Butterworth. He still can't get on. He's chafing at the bit to get on. They're bringing someone off for him to get on. And they're out again.
Mason's off for arrest.
Oh no, it's all Gepps Cross. Oh, he's dropped what he should have taken. He's tackled now. Umpire says play on. Probably was in the back for mine. Anyway, ball. Glenunga 3-on-1 here. Can they get it over? The elusive Harron pushes it forward, runs it open goal, and dribbles a point. He was under intense pressure.
Yeah, he was under pressure. He had a handball to his left to Lincoln Bennett.
We saw Jack Gibbs run an open goal. Now we've seen Harron run an open goal.
The pressure of the grand final, boys.
So Wilski probably won't want to watch that again too. The drop chest mark across our forward there.
Yeah, the pressure of the game. It's intense. It's implied pressure. They all know they're under the pump. 5-10 plays 4-4. Glenunga making the play at the moment. Big kick over the top. He's overcooked it. Good mark
Harford.
there. Yep. Jackie Harford. He's done everything right today. Hasn't had huge numbers, but everything right. Guy Ward. Now, you can't just bomb it, Guy. He looks for the fish. No, it's Nick.
Prosser.
Prosser fast becoming the most important forward on the ground today.
Just set it up, top of the square here. Hard kick there from Alberton, so just get it up.
Tommy Butterworth's getting a tan on the bench here. The man with the huge calves, he's finally going to get on.
Been there a long time. It's really interesting change too. Beard's coming off the ruckman. Butterworth is sort of a wingman.
Straight
real small.
swap.
not quite, TJ. And interesting too with Prosser. He's just a hard matchup. He's just so tall. His key position size, but his agility, it's just hard. You can't find a
really tough kick.
Can't find a small bloke that's tall enough.
Prosser from 45 on the boundary, puts it high to the goal square, won't get there. Ball at ground level in the ground square, player slips over, danger, we push through from behind. And now it's the largest margin of the game. It's Glenunga by 13 points, and what they are doing is they are scoring. And look at that windsock go.
And they're holding
Breeze
the ball
is definitely favouring the rider screen here. So
approaching 17.5 minutes into the
eating up
quarter.
valuable time. There's only been 2 goals scored, so probably another 7 minutes to play. And that kick's gone 65 with the breeze.
Gepps have to be in front at three-quarter time.
And here they come. Lukey Childs round the corner. He's got a player out. He should take the mark. Is it Sawulski?
Lad.
Goes long on the right foot. Here we go. 1-on-1. Clark fantastic.
Well
best
done.
position. Should get onto it. Should run onto it. Well done, Gratzy.
Well done,
Clark,
Gratz.
well done, Gratz. Yeah, fantastic.
Jamie Clark would have
Work.
fancied himself there. 1-on-1 in the goal square with a smaller opponent. Did really well,
Gratz is
Gratz.
very
Gratzy's got
strong
that,
through
yeah,
the
he's
core.
got that big ass on him.
Really
You can't
strong.
knock him off the ball, and it came in handy that time. Very handy
Got the
for sitting
extra,
on.
the overlap now.
Yep. I look for Prosser leading up again. Oh, this way, that way.
Sells a bit of candy.
Yes, take me to the candy shop. The big fella will mark this, though, in Gibbs. And he's been good today, all around the ground. I've enjoyed his game.
Yep.
Gives it off. You're on now, Mr. Pageant.
Sawilski, I think,
Brian
coming off
Ellis
half back.
gets one high.
Has to be high, surely. He's done well to
dear.
chuck that, Brian Ellis. It gets behind him. They had a couple at the back, so he's done very, very well to hold
he
that footy in there.
Did really well, didn't he? But yeah, did get one high. Should have been a free kick. Big Gibbs. Guy Ward gets the ball on the outer side of the ground. Prosser again there with Sammy Abel.
Interesting.
Probably needed to take that
Yeah.
footy there, I reckon, Sammy.
Yeah, grand final.
Oh,
He's
they're
dropped
locking the
that.
ball- trying to lock the ball up.
Oh, dearie me. The umpire's just swallowed the whistle. As big fishy wonky lumbering after it.
Really lumbering, isn't he?
He's sort of carrying that injury, but he's just done enough to apply the tackle.
Done well there, Grant, with their pressure.
Yeah, they've outnumbered him, and they'll get it over the line on the true centre wing position. 19-minute mark, third quarter, premiership quarter. All Glenunga at this stage.
Jared Clark's the one for Gepps, I think. Jared Clark Rantassa hasn't had a massive impact across the middle or half forward yet. He's the one that could probably break the game open for him. Do something a bit special that maybe some others can't.
Manning
And probably
due to
get him
come
into
back,
the game
mate.
a bit more.
Manning's on the gate, ready to come.
Ball
Back.
going towards Glenunga's goal, but they'll come to it first. It'll be Reece McAtee, the B-grade coach. But Glenunga steal the ball. It might be Prowse. Quick kick in front. Nicky Wonky attacks it full-chested and just takes it out right near the gate there, 60 metres around. Right where Glenunga want it, Tony Newell.
Gepps Cross have also dropped back. Sawitsky there was the free man. As we see, Manitosa just trotting out. Between the two of them, there were two of them and one Glenunga player. So they have dropped the spare back, although that spare will be in around the ball at the moment. And Glenunga's free is right down the centre of the ground, which is, well, I reckon it's Butterworth back here. And Wonky on the far side as well. So ball just congested up. Butterworth's at the back of this pack along with Alex Harron. So they're both free. And yeah, you're right, Wonky's on the far wing there.
It's fair to say, boys, unless Gepps Cross get a roll in the next 3 or 4, it looks like Glenunga will take a lead going with the breeze in the last quarter. Guy Ward is the man who's been the difference for me at this stage, and here they come. Again, leading in the race to the ball. They've just got a little bit more leg speed for mine. Oh, interesting collision there. But here they come. They come out through. Benny Rawlings, awkward kick. In front, though, again, he tacks the ball full-chested, and he just goes bang. It's your problem now, boys, but a horrible kick, really. And well done. Not much in that. Sawilski's mark. No. Takes it, goes quickly. They need to do this. They need to play some fast footy. Bold it is.
He's had a good game, Bob.
Yep.
Gepps have to take it on here.
Yeah.
Have to take it on.
Can't slow play now. He's going to go high up and under, I'd say. Probably not the kick. Taylor made for a spoil, and it is spoiled. Comes down ground level. Glenunga with the numbers.
Got to get
3
it
on
boundary
2.
side. Got to get it in the boundary. Glenunga defenders here.
You can see Manning just got back on, boys, heading straight back to the goal square to release Gratz. So he'll come up the ground. Manning go back to Clark Rantassa in the goal square.
They're going to have a +1 here in a minute.
That'll work too. Childs will mark that.
Drop what he should have taken. Ball's out of bounds, I think. No, kept in play.
Yeah, they've kept it alive, but stolen
Bennett.
there. Well done, Glenunga.
Well
yeah,
done.
well done, Linky. Down the line. Got to fly. Henke, he does. Fish Wonky needs to get in the game. He hasn't got in the game yet.
Lumbering, isn't he?
Yeah. If he's going to play around the ball, he's got to. Yeah, he's got to get in that.
I reckon he's going to go back
Great
and full
release.
forward.
Spencer Prowse, beautiful release. Handball gets to Harron. Harron battling at ground level. It's bobbing around, just doing enough. And they halve the contest. We'll have another ball up. You're right.
Big James Wonk, he's got to get down to full forward, take a grab. He's just not moving well enough, is he, to be around the fall of the ball?
And Brian Lees has been up off the coach's bench there for about 5 or 10 minutes, and just in that last bit of play, just absolutely jumping up and around. I think he wishes he was out there, but he's just got to remember to coach
his
and not
pants
Barry.
early in the year, mate.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's very animated. He's hugging the players as they're coming off, but he's jumping up and about when it's not working as well.
Sammy
Sammy Abel, what a
this
spin.
way, that way, yeah, away he goes.
Shades of Booker T. They go long. Will they spoil each other?
Well done, Callum
great
Camp again.
mark,
He reads it so well in the air.
He's been
Callum
very
Camp.
good, hasn't he?
Reads it extremely well in the air for a defender.
This is where Fish Wonky should be stretching their defence.
I think the issue they've got, Hose, is that they can't really put him back to the goal square because they want to leave McMahon there because he's battling as well. So they sort of have to kick him up the ground, unfortunately.
Taylor made, well done. Oh, maybe sun in the eyes there. That's what it looked like to me. And the umpire says free kick. Maybe chance for a last burst here from Gepps Cross. They spin.
Yeah, right.
Fast footy time on the right foot. Good spoil there again. They've done that so well today. Who's that at ground level? Can't make it out. Oh, he's cops a big knock as well for his trouble. Shoots straight to his
Brand
feet.
Ellis.
Justin Bonney, I
Yeah,
think.
Justin Bonney. Fantastic. Here we go. Out of side.
Butterworth.
And ball out of play.
Gee, that
23-minute mark.
no-name defence has done well, haven't they? They
Yes.
held the ball
Here's
up.
one for you, boys. They are through to Division 1. Brighton are going to win. They've kicked the last 10 goals of the game. They lead by 8 goals over Foss Camden.
I don't think any surprises there. So
You can see the boys coming to the benches here too, lads. Starting to get, you can feel them more and more tired. Prosser just getting
Andy
to the bench
Reid,
there.
Andy
Saw-
Reid back.
Reid's out here. Reid's
back
out
on.
here. If they get it to him, he's out. And they've got the ball. Reid's going to get this.
Semi-able.
Reid's going to get
His
this.
shoulder.
Oh, no, he saw Aaron.
Reid's going to get it. Reid's going to get it. On the back. Take the mark, Dos Reid. Oh, he's dropped it, but he's quick. He goes. Put on the afterburners, son. He looks for and finds Guy Ward.
Yeah.
That'll do.
I think Reid looked like he's still favouring his shoulder on the way out. Left shoulder, I think, still favouring.
Now, Guy Ward at the 23.5-minute mark with 2 goals scored for the quarter will take 30 to 45 seconds here and milk every second of this clock. They'll go in with an in excess of a 2-goal lead going with a breeze.
We said Gepps have to have the lead and they're not going to have it at three-quarter time, are they?
It's going to be a miserable day for Gepps Cross. They're going to lose in all 3 grades, I think. That's how it's looking at this stage, boys.
I think McMahon's not having a lot of the footy in this quarter, boys, but the fact that he can stay out there means they can have all of their rotations still moving. I think come the 15-20 minute mark of the last quarter, Guy will be quite telling.
Also 20,
Guy
22
Ward
with
for
a final.
45. Massive kick. Doesn't just hooks it. Just hooks it. Gepps Cross supporters give it to him, but I tell you what, boys, it's still a very handy.
That's a 3-goal breeze to the northern end.
Oh,
there
I wouldn't
today.
call it a 3-goal breeze when there's been 9 goals scored for the day. I'll give you 2.
Three scoring shots.
Yep. I'll give you that much. And there we go, ground level, nothing doing there. Just fell to his knees. No, umpire, he fell to his knees. Maybe the second one was there. First one certainly wasn't. But free kick there to Jack O'Neill. Jack O'Neill's done plenty today as well. He's been all right. Quick kick to Sawilski. He goes, but well pointed out there. Number 1, that's Pidgey Ellis. Pidgey Ellis at ground
Been
level.
good today, Pidge.
Yes, this way, that away. They've worked well. Javier Larkham, Manning, he's been outstanding. They might get the last forward 4 out of the quarters. We tick on to 25. Couldn't be too long to go, boys. They'll know how long to go. We don't.
Got options back through
Just
the middle.
on 25 minutes.
Got options back through the middle, Glenunga. It didn't look like they wanted to use him. Happy to
risk
go down the
football.
line and get a stoppage if they can, just to suck this breeze up.
Won't be a lot of time on.
No, it couldn't be even more than 30 seconds, you wouldn't think. They just need to halve this one down at the back, nearly taking the mark. I'll get on the binos, boys. You're on.
I think it's Jack Wood. He's gone out of bounds, though.
Gone out of bounds.
Gone out of bounds. It was Jack, and he's not happy about it either, Big Jack. He's thrown the ball into the fence.
Just got to keep ball boundary side for the next minute, don't they? Glenunga just keeps sucking this time clock down.
Didn't even look middle then, that last one. Didn't even look towards the middle.
No.
Happy to go down the line. Happy for a stoppage. Happy for a ball up.
Haven't taken the game on, have they, in this third
No,
quarter?
they haven't really needed to, have they?
Been a
They've
total
done
of
it well.
2 goals, 7 scored, boys, and the first quarter only went for 23. This one's already on 26, so... Anyway, ball. Bobbing round, contested ball here. Gepps Cross take possession. Good tackle. We'll have a ball up, will we?
Justin Bonney again. It's a great tackle.
Been outstanding. Oh, here they go. Gepps Cross. Can they get out?
Got a couple on the
back. Aha! Schmid, the danger man, crosses 45 on a tight angle, has a ping,
Missed
and
the
just
inside.
a 1 point, and I reckon that might be all she wrote.
And again, those two, Mason out to Schmidt. They're the 2 around the footy. They're the 2 for Gepps around the footy.
There's Manning out on the hit-up target.
Yeah, and they might just go short to the back pocket here.
Just watch some greats there running out too. He's run out. One
The
player bumped
umpire
into him.
is sending someone off. He is sending him off.
What's that for?
I think it's Joey Tahana, boys. I'm not sure what it's for, but it's red. It is red.
Does that mean a player short?
I think maybe for 10 minutes, possibly.
Yeah, for 10
that's
minutes.
massive.
Oh,
He
Andy
must-
Reid just goes over and says thank you.
He must have done something off the ball.
Not sure what it was for, but
So free kick to undisciplined football, and Glenunga have every right to go up as they cheer him off. And they say, well done, Joey. He probably wishes he could have that moment back again. And I reckon we're going to hear a big clung on the box any second right now.
if that is 10 minutes without a replacement, that's
Well,
gonna
no
make
one's going on,
That's
mate.
going to make it very, very hard work in the last quarter, isn't it?
Yeah,
This quarter's
into-
virtually finished.
Into the breeze, 2
Yeah, that's
goals
exactly
down,
right.
only 17, geez.
And they've got the ball on the outer side. No, it just spills out of play, 17 minutes out. I don't know how much longer this quarter could go for. I reckon we might have my good friend Emma Gibson on the. She missed the clock the other day. She was timing it,
Didn't
Elizabeth.
see what it was for though. I was on the point of the centre square. Obviously, the ball's coming out from full back, so it might have been whether it's a sneaky little jab or something along those lines, but didn't actually see it.
Oh, dearie me.
You wouldn't think a red card's worth a sneaky jab, though. So.
Just saw. Wow, we. Football's a real winner. Okay.
Glenunga setting up behind the footy well again.
Yeah, they've got the ball. I don't think they'll take any risk.
They
No,
will
long
not come
down
in.
the
They
line.
got Harron a short one if they want him, but they're not even looking.
They're going to go down to, it looks like they'll go down to Wonky down there, and he does. He'll fly. Oh, he takes a sit, nearly takes the mark. And again, he's that bailout kick. As long as they don't try and play this style for the last 25 minutes, they should be right. But with an extra player, as you said, Padge, surely they've got a couple of plays and this game could be all over. They just scored it out of the line. 28 minutes gone, third quarter, premiership
Really
quarter.
good defensive work. They've taken the ball boundary side.
Look, Gepps Cross have had their chances. Both teams have kicked 1-4 apiece. So, but you'd have to think the Gibbs shot running into open goal could be costly.
But I guess it makes up for the other one down the other end that, who was it missed? Harron missed?
Yeah, Reed as well missed one that he probably could have kicked.
I mean, 17 scoring shots for Glenunga. They probably feel like they might be able to have a couple more goals on the board as well.
Yeah. It's not over, that's for sure. And anything could happen in the grand final. As the ball tackled there, the Glenunga player, we're going to have a ball up 65 minutes out.
I wouldn't mind having my hard-earned on Glenunga at the moment.
Yeah, it's far from over though, Luke Hosey. We've got 30 minutes of football, and like we said, anything can happen.
I'll back the Rams.
Yeah, well played, sir. Well played. And there it is. It is three-quarter time. All right, boys.
Grab the other microphone headset.
At three-quarter time at Alberton Oval, it is Gepps Cross 4-6, trailing Glenunga 5-12. Goal kickers for Gepps Cross. It's Jack Gibbs with 2, Daniel Mason with 1, Josh Ball with 1. For Glenunga, it is Guy Ward with 2, Harry Prosser with 2, and Nick Wonky with 1. It's 12 points the difference. Gepps Cross now with a player down. Glenunga going with the breeze. It all points towards Gepps Cross, doesn't it, mate?
It points to Glenunga.
Glenunga, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, it points to Glenunga. Oh, look, Gepps have to change something. What they're doing at the moment doesn't look like it's going to win them the games. Whether they go small forward, but they take Jamie Clark-Rattazza out of the forward 50 and try something different, take Smith out of the forward 50, maybe put Jared, his brother, down there and try something. He's got a bit of pace on him. Try something different, maybe leave Jack Gibbs one out in the 50 and let him do some work with his pace. I don't know, they have to try something a bit different though. Even if it's someone like a Ash Benz or Callum Camp, who's been good at full back, maybe try swing him forward and see if he can take a clunk or something. They have to do something. They can't do what they're doing now because it's probably not working.
The definition of his insanity is doing the same thing all the time, expecting different results. So you're right. They've got plenty of talent on the list. They've got plenty of good footballers. They need to try something. Whether they even throw a big Jack Gibbs down there at full forward.
And the hard thing they're going to have, obviously being one short for the first probably 8 or 9 minutes of the quarter, means they're going to have to play one short. They're going to have a lot of footy, you'd think, getting kicked out of stoppages, be able to mark across half back and go. Be interesting to see how well they can hold up. They probably have to hold in for the first 10 Gepps, and then they probably have to try and win it in the last 20. And if it means they sit or try and get a 7th forward off a stoppage or whatever the case may be,
yeah, and
got to take a risk probably.
What you're saying is counterproductive to what they're trying to achieve. They've got to hang for the first probably 8 minutes of the quarter, 7 minutes of the quarter, makes it real tough. And then flick a switch all of a sudden. It's very, very hard to do. So we've got some scores from around the grounds. We're just going to have a look at them very quickly. As we mentioned, Brighton looks like they're through to Division 1. They lead Foss Camden by 8 goals. Just sent through some requests for scores at Paynham. Haven't got them yet. In Division 1 reserves full-time, it was Henley 7-3 defeated Port District 5-10. Henley behind all day and they managed to get over the line. Well done to Hope Valley C5 premiers. And that's pretty much all I've got at the moment. At three-quarter time, wowee, it is Goodwood 6-5, Paynham 8-7. So Goodwood have kicked the last 3. I'll throw to you. Yep, we just got that one there. So just making some technical adjustments here. So we've got mic 4 on now. Yep, you're on mic 4. You're back on mic 3, big fella.
Was that Goodwood come back a bit, you said?
Mic 4's just blown me bloody eardrums.
Sorry, TJ, said Goodwood come back a bit in.
Yeah, Goodwood have kicked the last 3. So let's hope they're going with a breeze or something. We'll play them kick 5 in the second, so it looks like there might be a breeze. Yes, no, they've kicked 6-5, not 2-2. Tony, welcome back to full-time broadcasting. We're just saying, look, Gepps Cross, it's an interesting one. They've got to hold for 7 minutes while they're a player short, and then they've just got to throw everything at Glenunga.
Yeah, look, that's very costly, isn't it? That player going off like that. And look, things happen in grand finals. We didn't actually see what it was that went on, so whether it was, like you said, a sneaky little one or maybe just something...
maybe some
verbally, yes, but the umpires were pretty quick on it, and there wasn't much ramification. The play didn't go back at all. And Glenunga have already split, and Gepps Cross are still in. It's all or nothing in it. Last quarter, grand final. It's where you got to give everything, and she's going to be game on. But you know, it's only 1 goal 6. It's virtually 2 kicks, 2 goals, and you're equal. The other side is though that Glenunga will be going with that breeze to the right.
Let me just play devil's advocate. We're talking Glenunga this, Glenunga that. What if, and it's a big what if Gepps kicked the first from the first centre break? Then it changes everything because grand finals are crazy like that.
The thing that you feel is that Glenunga probably had the better of the game, you feel, but the fact
They
that
haven't put it away.
No, that's exactly right. The fact that there's only 2 kicks in it definitely gives Gepps that they're in the game. We talk like they're out of the game. They're definitely in the game, but they have to do something a bit different. Obviously, with 17 men, probably defend for the first 10, but when they got a chance to attack, maybe try something different. Well, like I said, Gibbs maybe forward, Jack Gibbs that is, or maybe the big baby Glenn Gibbs to full forward, or whatever the case may be. But they got to try something. They have to try something, and if it means that they lose by 6 or 7 goals, well, you know what? So be it.
It's a grand final. You've got to take it on, don't you?
So huge following here for Gepps Cross too. Massive Gepps Cross crowd. Had 3 teams in today, but there's a lot of red, blue and white.
Yeah, and red, white and blue. And I tell you, boys, Glenunga kicked the first. I reckon they've got them. So
I think you're right. Gepps certainly need the first one, don't they?
Notice, can't see McMahon anymore.
Boys, huge news just in. Off for the rest of the game, striking with an elbow. So Gepps Cross plays short for the rest of the game. So they play short for 10 minutes, but he's off for the rest of the game.
It's 8 minutes of this quarter.
So they'll still be down in rotation if Tahana can't come back on.
And if I know the league at this stage, they're cracked down striking with an elbow, he's going to have a fair holiday next year as well.
Just notice in the forward 50 boys for Glenunga, Reed's gone straight to the goal square, McMahon with him.
Yep. Best mates down there. That'll be interesting. And then Prosser playing up 40 metres out, but he'll push up on the wings and get that ball.
Very agile forward line. Prosser, Abel, Larkham, very agile forward line.
So it's Bald versus Beard in the first tap out. So down to the ground it comes. It'll be a second ball up here, and as we see straight away, the wings come in on this side. On the far side, they're still out a little bit. Just a straight line to the left of Gepps Cross's end here.
Clark Rentas playing down the ground as well.
Taken and not given a free kick, so they're out here, are they? Yes, slowly. Just that banana kick, can't get hold of it, and that's Mason. It is that long high kick.
Javier. No, it's Pidgey Ellis.
Brand Ellis.
Ball spills though. Here's Javier. No, ground level. Well done, Gepps Cross. He wanted it. Made it his Baird. The big fella just gets it on the boot. High up and under. Gepps leading in the race. The ball. They should get to it first, but Glenunga with numbers. Tracking. Ball out of play. Just forward of the centre for Glenunga. Early stages, final quarter. Glenunga lead by 12 points. Of course, Gepps Cross playing with 17 men at the moment.
Trying to see the loose one is here for Gepps. I think Great's coming across the child, so it might not be
Pidgey Ellis, is it?
Ellis has got.
They've got 2 behind the ball. Ellis,
2 behind the footy.
Ellis at the minute. Smith's come up to the stoppage following ball.
Ellis just going attacking side as well.
Isn't he? He's going straight to the middle.
Mason drops the ball. Ward, quick kick. Here we go. Business time for Glenunga. Here's Reed. He's got the pace. But well done. Beautiful play there. Yeah, Ash Benz. They know each other quite well. Great matchup. 2 good footballers. Guy Ward, and the umpire says that's too high, and a free kick to the squealer, and he'll get and go. They've got to do this.
The other thing with Reed going deep forward is it takes Ben's deep.
Luck's of fortune, and that's what happens when you take the game on. Sorry, host. Spot on there, though. Joshy Bald, he's got the ball. Baldy, you've got to go, mate. You've got to go. You've got to take some risk. Ugly kick, and out on the full, is it? Yes, it is.
The thing about Ash Ben's hose is that he can play tall or he can play small. He's very agile for
but he's been taken out of the game
exactly
now.
Right. He's going all the way back to the goal square. He won't mind the matchup, but he probably won't like where the matchup is.
So in other words, if they get to take it on, they get to get Benz, their captain, around the fall of the ball, I think.
A few players need to stand up as that big ball comes in, Baird. Over the back it comes, and that's Josh Bald again. Down low, 2 of them, they maul him, and the ball just pops out of bounds. I'll tell you what, Cyrilski's played his heart out, but have a look at him, the body language there already. He's done a couple of efforts in this quarter. He's tired. He's going back on Larkham. Larkham looks that little bit fresher. They've got an arm on each other. A little pet hate here. There's no one behind the ruckman.
No one had an arm on Ward. Can't believe
it is.
Leading in the race, the ball. Prosser handballs to himself, just spills.
They won't mind that in front of the bowling club.
That's always funny. He's tried to give him one there, Troy Mordun. He's come up second best, but never mind. But that's where Glenunga want it, and if they can kick the next one.
So 1-on-1.
I reckon Vitz is getting done here. I reckon he's got to get Benz out around the full of the ball.
You can see Jack Wood as an on-baller. Ruckman stand next to Guy Ward. There's about 3 feet in height differential at that
stoppage. Prosser's just sneaking around the back there. They can't get it to him. McMahon, good clash of heads there. Glenunga player's gone down, and I reckon that it's not Reed, is it? But I'll tell you what, he's felt that. No. Yeah, big clash of heads.
Former coach once said, "Damn, well done, Matt Schmid." Just checking on him. That's quality. He's a quality human being, Matt Schmid. Well done.
So up it goes.
Abel with a tap.
Yeah, it was too.
Bennett, he's back from the dead, like Lazarus. And he's tackling Weber ball up 30 metres out right where Glenunga wants it.
No wonkies out there either.
No, they've gone a bit smaller. I think they're going to try and get it in quick. They've got
Big Fish is due to come back now, I think, replacing Big.
ball at ground level. Open goal. Will he kick it? He does.
Crosser. It's an excellent handball from Reid off that stoppage.
Yeah, Andy Reid, he's smart. Obviously, former North Adelaide footballer, hasn't had his best day, but gee, that valuable touch gives Harry Prosser his third. It gives Glenunga their 6. It's 6-12 plays 4-6, and we don't like to put lipstick on a pig, Luke Hosey, but geez, that makes it tough.
She's on the stage and singing.
I wouldn't say she's singing, the throat's clearing. She's had her last hot dog and the throat is clearing, Luke Hosey.
Yes, the penguin is there.
Oh,
but also Gepps another 4 minutes away before they get the 18th player back too. So.
And that one man down damages you big time because they've got Glenunga have got a spare man back. But just on that Gepps cross as they were running back to the middle, just a couple of players, not so much arguing but pointing and talking amongst themselves about that structure in the back line there. So be it is again, the second ball up it goes. Doesn't get body on body, the Gepps cross player, so down it comes. They come forward again, Glenunga. Have they got a runner? Taken and been caught here. Gepps cross need to attack here, and they need to get a goal.
You can't slow play it, ball. Got to go, young fella.
So players have pressed up the ground, so he's going to go long and high down towards centre forward. They need a mark. They can't get it. Manning just put the fist out and bang. Oh, pressure's there from Gepps cross again, but Larkham, he's had a great game.
How's the
Turns
composure?
around, kicks it long down the wing. Over the back it comes, 2-on-1. Forces through, hands are free. That's a throw.
Has to be a throw.
Umpire again, blindsided.
Great tackle from, I think it was Morden. Was it Morden down there? Great tackle on Prosser.
Try the boy. 20-year-old young fella playing back pocket. He's been good today. Certainly had a crack.
Prosser got away with it there as the ruckman come in. There's no Gepps cross ruckman, so
that's a throw as well.
Is taken. Mason it is, can't get through, heavy traffic.
That's a throw as well. They
swallowed
the whistle.
There's a fair bit going on.
It's going to Harron against Cathro. Cathro put him down afterwards.
Late tackle, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think Cathro put him down.
And I reckon he'll go down towards the pocket about 55 metres and try and get it locked in there.
And they've got a player free in the middle if he wants him.
No, he doesn't. He goes attacking.
Turns on that left.
Oh, yeah. No, ends up exactly where I said. And good. This is the old Larry Bird. He stole the ball.
Flying horizontally.
Yes. A bit vertical, maybe.
He's a very good player, Ashby.
Yeah. Hasn't got the switch out the back. He's got a player free in the goal square, but he elects to go short. Wood's presented. Now they need to get it out. He's got a player across the ground if he wants, but they're probably going to come down to the pack because they're playing a player short.
Might as well lose by 8.
Baird's back here. Baird's back here as well. Clark Rantasset can't get up. Down the ground it comes, just bobbling around on the ground, and we'll see another ball up. Just a little bit of stuff coming.
It's easy up here, Tony and Page, Hose. But down the line, 50 metre, 45 metre bombs isn't going to get it done, is it?
You can see that Jackwood actually had a look inboard first, I think. Gepps just look a little bit like they can't actually, they have enough in the tank to be able to run and create them. He tried to look middle. He wanted to create something, and there was no one that was able to move for him.
Right in front of the Gepps cross bench. And full credit to the Gepps cross supporters as well. That not a supporter has left. They're still here supporting their club. Not going to be the club's best day, but hey, what a turnaround for a club. 5 senior teams in grand final from 16s up. Great mark. Umpire finds a free kick.
Ashben's free kick.
We'll go to Ashben's against Fishwonky. Fishwonky hasn't had his best day, it's fair to say.
And handball to the boundary, inside, outside. Sawilski comes down very close to the boundary. Is that a hand over the shoulder? No, it's not. So we see another throw in, and the Glenunga faithful here are just cheering and clapping every ball up, every throw in, everything that just puts that pressure on Gepps cross.
Well, they're going to have
tall here.
Two premierships in consecutive years here, Division 5 and 4, I think.
You can see what Benz was trying to do there too. He's trying to release Sawilski. Sawilski's the one off half back who can run and create. Trying to get him involved.
Hit late. Zian. Here they go. Prosser to Harron on the left foot. Watch this. Beautiful measured kick to Guy Ward. He's going to mark the mark.
Yeah, well done.
He'll take his 40 seconds. And at the 7.5 minute mark of the final quarter, when you lead a grand final going with the Breeze by 18 points, you go back, you have a shot for your third. And if he kicks this, he gets the medal from on.
And the lady is on the stage singing if he gets this.
Well, they've kicked 4 all day. They'd need to kick 4 in the last.
Not going to happen.
No, you're right.
Is it too early to start talking about the medal? He'd be one of them, you would think.
Well, he's kicked 3 goals from the middle, mate.
Yep.
I don't see how you go past him.
He's had a fair day. Larkham's had a good day. Harron's had a good day.
And he has put the medal around his neck. He doesn't drink frothies, but he's going to be sucking back lemonade tonight. The man's name is Guy Ward. He's kicked 3 goals, and he is one of the team leaders at Glenunga, taking them to back-to-back premierships.
It's over.
Stick to commentating, Luke.
He's just twice you've tried to sing today, and both times have absolutely sucked. But it's Glenunga 7-12, Gepps Cross 4-6. It's a 24-point lead as a few Gepps Cross supporters just light up durries and say, we don't care if we get thrown out.
So the players come back on.
Through today, Gepsies, unfortunately.
Same thing happened to Mitcham 10 years ago to the day, right here
Didn't
at
that
the
happen to
Oval.
Salisbury a few years ago?
Thanks, Hose. Yeah, it happened to us
Sorry,
up
mate.
at Campbelltown. We
It
lost
can
all
happen. You put too much energy into club, you know, and anyway.
I just say now, O'Neill ran on to the ground there, so they've got back to 18 now, so this is leaving it up. If they're ever going to do anything, it's 4 goals, 9 minutes in. There's still a chance, but
Tony,
geez, a very
if they
slim
win
one.
from here, I'll eat this microphone and I'll eat
slim
your
one.
microphone. How's that sound?
Don't like my dried apricots. So here they come, coming forward.
don't tell me.
And he's done the big floater coming forward. Out comes Glenunga, can't quite
They've
take it
attacked
this way,
all
that
day.
way.
Yep.
Just a slow loping kick onto the foot.
But done enough, here's
Yeah,
Harron.
they're going to get it out here. No, Wood puts his body in. There's not a lot of support trying to push off
releases, quick kick inside out. Side.
Yeah.
This needs to go through. And the Bronx cheers from the Glenunga team. And I tell you what, I'm going to get on these forums and make my comeback after Uri and let some of those superstars know. I told you so. Here's Glenunga, back-to-back premiers here for mine. It is only the 9-minute mark of the last quarter.
And it's only 4 goals, but you just don't see where Gepps are going to get their goals from. We're going to kick 4 and 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, and they haven't kicked a goal in the second half. So Glenunga's structures have just been too strong. Brian Lees jokingly said to me, Brian Lees doesn't lose at Alberton before the game, and he was spot on. So never a truer word can be spoken in jest. So
up it goes, big pack, Gepps Cross quick. Trying to get a quick kick, couldn't quite get it, so the umpire's going to see. So we might see some congestion, but interesting, there's still a line. I just look at this analysis-wise, there's a group of players back in the centre here, and then one out in the goal square back here. If Glenunga can get this forward, they can't do. Gepps Cross jump in.
Yeah, and that's a really good example there. Ball was out to a Gepps Cross player. A real example, your snapshot of the day. I think it was Henke, was it? Hit the tackle. They haven't missed tackles, and when they've been tackled, they haven't coughed the ball up.
That's exactly what I was going to say,
They've done very good. That's a 1% intangible. You know, it's not a.
The ball protection there was excellent, especially in a dangerous spot, directly in front of goal, 50 out. The ball protection has just been amazing.
It's the complex carbohydrates of footy, the real meat and potatoes that you've got to do well. The sugar and spices, all the goals and the fancy stuff. That's what you've got to do well, and they've done that well.
And they've got it out the far side, and Jack O'Neill there was just down on his haunches for Gepps Cross. A few of the players with their hands on their knees, and I'll tell you what, they're out on their feet, a couple of these players here, and just be careful here because Glenunga might just get that little bit more of a sniff and a run on, and it could just blow out a little bit here.
It is a big deck in the last quarter of a grand final. I know, talking from experience, it's a very big deck.
So Gepps Cross come out now this way, that way, can't quite get it over. Pressure now is coming from Glenunga. They've really got a sniff and they've lifted, and I don't think they're going to let this go. And it's interesting that pressure's on.
If there is any chance, Gepps need to score a goal in the next minute. If there's any chance whatsoever.
The amount of players around the ball, the Beard just swats it out straight to a Glenunga player. 1-2. They're out now. No on ballers are going to run down.
The co-captain, he's got 2-on-2. It's 3-on-3 now. Spotting down Harron.
Kept working.
They haven't been able to stop him, have they?
Just kept
Harron
working.
and Ward.
He's been really good.
And again, you know what? He's 15 metres out in a tight angle. We might not kick the goal, but take your 45 seconds, take it up to the 13-minute mark of the final quarter. Chew up some time.
It was just his work rate away from that stoppage. You can see he's still running on top of the ground, ran past the Gepps bloke.
We said that all day. We think that in the clinches, Gepps Cross maybe, but spread from the contest, it's got to be Glenunga. And he hits another target. Henke. And this boy deserves it. He's again, not paid it? No, he has paid it. Okay, he's going to line up from. What's going on here? No, he's
looking at us.
Have a shot, son. You're 40 metres out in the grand final. Only Tommy Javor passes these off in grand finals. So he's going to have a shot. This to put the game to bed officially. They will go up in raptures at Glenunga. 40 metres out. Fairly acute angle. Henke, close to the man on the mark. It's a good looking kick. It's a goal! It's the Glenunga Rams, the 2018 Division 4 Grand Finalists. And if you're watching this on delay, Nick the Situation Jolly, you owe me a carton of Peroni Red. I'm pretty happy with that.
They can start to see it on the centre on the bench too. Leasy just telling him to just Lincoln Bennett's just come off, just trying to calm him down a little bit. You can sense that they know it too on the bench there.
Nick Wunke's about to come on, so pretty handy, big tall forward coming onto the ground. So down he trots to the forward line, see if he can get into a bit of junk time now.
McMahon off, that might be the end of his day, I think, for that hamstring.
Read off McMahon off, what a luxury.
But it is in the ruck, and he goes up a bit against Big Glenn Gibbs. So it comes out Nah, Gepps Cross just can't get hold of that ball.
Smith.
Glenunga, yeah, good on the left hand.
Butterworth.
Yeah, they're sharing it around, and around the corner goes Guy Ward again. Another possession, beautiful kick on the wing.
Yeah,
this is the Glenunga that we know, though.
Yeah, how's that ability on either side?
Well, they've had the room to move today.
Yeah,
Lead forward to the ball. Here they come again. Here's another lead up to the ball. As we see it, Abel is not able to take the grab. Gepps Cross get it out and taken high there. Umpire has let that go.
The big over was made to suit for Glenunga.
Umpire has really let that go.
And as we said earlier, boys, as the fatigue started to set in and the game was going to open up, you can see it started to favour Glenunga more and more as it's gone on.
Yeah.
So far side, just shy of the wing here. Umpire faces away from us. Up it goes. Baird puts his body in, left foot swat, left-handed swat, sorry, but comes to Gepps Cross, high, wide and handsome, right out towards that boundary line, and over it goes. Just letting it go over Ricky Smith first to the ball. So another throw-in. So the on-ballers are just drifting down the ground. Little ball boy has to jump the fence over there. So there's a fair few players around the ball. There's about a 40-metre gap.
Tony, a couple of quick ones. Second semi, it is Teatree Gully by 10 points, 9-14 to 9-4 halfway through the last. CBC are premiers, and Paynham lead Goodwood by 3 goals.
So ball comes out now. Gepps Cross fighting hard there was Mason. He's tried hard all day. Just look at the kick though. Pops it up and down. Greats can't get to it, but shuffles it forward. Glenunga come out again. They're supporting, they're helping. Woods can't take the grab. Down it comes. Glenunga are out again here. Left-hand handball inside. They've got numbers. Big Beard is mopping it up. Left-hand handball again. 1-2 chain of handballs. Good run and chase by Gepps Cross there. Brings the tackle into play. Really good, strong, hard chase. So a couple of the players aren't giving up, which is what we like to see. Look, Glenunga got a spare off the ball here. Down the back. Beards, they're swatting that ball forward now. Down towards Big Wunky. Up it comes. Unable to take it. Gepps Cross in the back there is Ben Rawlings it is. Comes out and he's taken by the jumper. Pulled over his head.
Tackling's been ferocious from Glenunga all day.
Yeah, Wunky's into him again off the ball. A little bit going on. Yeah, Rawlings and
Wouldn't
Wunky.
worry about that. I might just point to the scoreboard if I was you, Nick.
So up it goes. The other Wunky it is, just swats it forward there. Geez, they're winning well there, but out the back there for Gepps Cross is Tom Wyatt.
Oh, it's all Glenunga over there though.
Dumped as he kicks and it rolls out of bounds, and that's what Gepps Cross will be looking for right by the oxygen sign there.
Very good, Tony.
But, you know, we're saying how well Glenunga are playing they have, but Gepsies, they were all the way down to Division 4, coming from Division 1. They're back again to Division 3, so you've got to give them a huge credit for that. So
Wunky
they've rebuilt their club, so it's been good. The
and it's bobbling right in the goal square here. Desperate, sorry there, Luke, but desperate play.
And not overly old still, Gepps. They've got a lot of young.
Absolutely.
Bald is only, I think, 19 or 20. Mordaunt's only 20. They've got a lot of blokes who are still going to get better. Child.
B grade in the grand final today as well. C grade in the grand final.
A lot of depth. Yep. They're going to get better. A lot of these guys out here are actually still going to become better.
This is a club that's not going to limit it for. They are ready for Division 3.
That's right. And they'll be, like I said, with Vits, their structures are generally pretty good. They'll be all right in 3s, I think, next year.
Yeah, and without Gino too, it's a bonus.
So unable to get to the ball.
As the ball comes, and good mark there. Well taken by Reece McEntee.
So he's come inside and it's grabbed there. He's been quiet, hasn't he?
Yeah, Jared Clark.
Yeah.
That's the kick they should have been trying to hit all day.
Boys, just quickly as well, it is the 17-minute mark of the final quarter. I've got Simon Asbury here, a man who has done so much work behind the scenes. Tell me, how does this feel, Simon?
We're not there yet, but awesome. Looking like another great year. So well done to the boys.
Stage and singing.
Yeah, and Simon, a great man once said, "Don't be a hater, just get greater," and that's what Glenunga have gone out and done.
That's it. Well said.
Thank you, mate. It's going to be a big night back at the club.
Absolutely, huge night.
Really well done, Simon Astonbury. Known by many, loved by some.
Big leap from Cathro.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Kick came in from Bald, but
Rantasser, he's taken one with him there.
I think that was
taken high there as Butterworth.
I think it was Dylan Smith stood in front of him. That's courage when you're 5 goals up in the last quarter.
And he's still down.
Yeah, it won't hurt too much later on, brother. Don't worry about that. Aaron Manning, this way, that away. Tackling just picked up there. Just the last roll of dice here for Gepps Cross. Probably too far, or they're not too far gone, but they are not throwing it away. Andy Reid just making his way back on the ground.
There's a lot of space there. Woods just from the square goes bang into the goal square. They're caught behind here, Gepps Cross. There's
ground
a player
level,
coming
left foot snap.
front and centre.
It's a goal.
It's a very good finish.
Well done.
Matty Schmidt.
Yeah.
He's worked hard today, Matty Schmidt.
He's all class, Matt Schmidt. He kicks his first, and he kicks their first goal of the second half. So it might be too little too late, but certainly some respectability on the scoreboard. With about 5 or 6 minutes to play, Glenunga leading by 25 points.
Yeah, the games we saw this year, probably Schmidt and McMahon, probably as good a players as there is in Division 4.
And Schmidt and Mason complement each other really well in that.
Yeah.
It's hard to stop both of them when they're in the same midfield.
And the other, and Clark Rantassa too. But
And Clark Rantassa as well. And Childs hasn't had a big day today, been very smart around the footy as well.
Either both Clark Rantassas haven't.
Division 1 boys, good would have gone in straight set to Payneham by 28 points late in the final quarter.
Well, that's when you play 8 defenders and don't try to score.
And you can say, Luke Hosey, you were right. You called it when we were there. You questioned him on it. It hasn't worked.
No.
But here we go. Gepps cross, a late charge. This way, that way. Quick handball, high up and under, straight up and down. Gratz in best position. He takes it at ground level. Tries to release. Ball spilling. Tell you what, there's just a little bit left in this one. Just a little bit. They will clear. They do. It's an ugly kick. It's out on the full.
So Gepps Cross are going to have another shot here. There, 55 out, not a shot, probably an opportunity to get the ball in. But look at the congestion.
Probably Manning's first mistake today, I would have thought.
In it comes a big, long, high kick. Reece McInerney, they need to grab it. It's not going to happen. Glenunga just big fist to the ball. It's still in. Wheels right around.
Oh,
and
wow.
Tell you what, he has wheeled that right around
Unlucky.
and missed it. He was just about celebrating.
Aaron Mason.
So just a little bit of byplay going on between the crowd.
And again,
and,
that last play, Tony and Page, just another example. The spoiling of Glenunga. It's been very disciplined to the out wide. They haven't spoilt into hot spots.
Yep.
They've been really, really clever with the 1%ers. And Spencer Prowse just taking the ball on half
Ross Trevor, Payneham game next week. Tea Tree Gully are 18 points in front of Ross Trevor.
Holy moly. And of course, at a neutral venue. Ross Trevor don't have a home at the moment.
Probably a daily reserve again.
It can't be at Theberton, can it?
No.
Daily, right next to Payneham. Like it.
Jack Connors it is on the far side wing, just picks out a player. This is the Glenunga we know, leading forward to the ball, presenting well, giving them an opportunity. Unfortunately, that comes undone just as you wrap it up. So Gepps Cross out the back. They haven't given up, but just little fumbles like that, missing a handball, stuff like that. They could have had a run on. Now they've got Ben Rawlings here in the centre of the ground. He's been down back most of the day. He's just drifting forward a little bit here, taller player. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can get the ball to him. But obviously on that far side, Glenunga are just going to hold it in, get another ball up here.
Hose is having a big day tipping. He tipped Scotch and they're 8 points in front of Seaton.
Wowee.
Talking in the third person there.
The Hose.
And we talk a lot about Ward and Reid and the midfield, but they're back six, Glenunga. They are as solid as any back six going around. They're not superstars, but they all just do their job. Like Bonnie and Harford and Mitchell and all these other... Manning's had a great day down on Clark Rantassa. They just do their job. They're just solid, and they don't get a lot of credit with the midfield and forward line that they have. But they
youngsters
are
have been good as well for Glenunga. Butterworth had that purple patch in the second. So what do you?
We got another one right.
Oh, Marion have knocked off O'Sullivan's Beach. That's cost me a six-pack. But anyway, as the ball comes, Dill Smith there gets the spoil, ground level. Ooh. They've done well there, Gepps Cross. They should break. They do. They release. Quick handball. Reece McInerney. No. Getting it back is Glenunga. Here's Spencer Prowse. I've liked his game as well. He's had plenty of it. Big Wonky at the back. Doesn't quite get it. And Gepps should clear.
Mopping up Tom White.
From Pitchy Ellis. Goes for a smother with a foot. And they'll go long. I think the sting's just gone out of this one a bit. Full throttle. Big fly. Mason. Benny Rawlings has gone down forward.
Yeah,
interesting.
Spoke about that before and he's...
Is it too late though, boys? Could they have tried that a bit earlier, maybe?
Maybe, but they should clear, and they do. Harron will take the mark, and they're off and running. Butterworth on the outside. He's in no rush, Alex Harron, and we're at the 22-minute mark. This one's all over.
He's been good out there, Harron too. He just pumped that ball forward earlier on, and while we were chatting, and now here he is again. And look, he uses the ball so well. That beautiful left foot kick. Look, weighted well over the back now. Bennett, 2-on-1. He's in front.
See it
it's
out.
Just going to pop over
Div
the
3, boys.
over the line
it's
there.
Scotch by 8 points, and an ambulance has been called. Not sure what for. So that game will go for another half an hour.
It's only 20 minutes in the third quarter.
20 minutes into the third quarter. So that game's got another 45 minutes to play out. That will go on and on.
Although we were at a game this year, they're an hour to get there with an ambulance.
So over the top it comes. Glenunga have got the run on. Being held up there was that player, and I think it was Larkham, was it? As the ball comes back in, backing up, Big Wonky around the corner in junk time, and he's pretty happy about that. They are home and hosed.
Home and hosed indeed. as the big, was it Jimmy Wonky?
Nick Wonky.
It was Nick Wonky. Big Nicky Wonky kicks his second, and for a guy that hadn't played since round 5, had a shocking ankle injury. It all turned around for him, Padge, when he added me on Facebook a few weeks ago. He kicked 3 last week and 2 this week. And now he's going to win.
It's actually quite an effort to be out for that long and to work your way back. I don't think he played any twos footy before that. I think because prelim, walked straight into a prelim. To be able to just make a contribution for those 2 weeks is a massive effort on his part.
And here's a stat, only 4 goal kickers today for Glenunga. That's crazy
TJ,
stat.
are you saying you're the missing link?
Yeah, more than you know.
Not bad players, those 4, though, that have hit the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Pretty handy, isn't it, to get a player like that back. So Gepps Cross, just a nothing handball out of the pack. It's all running on, taking that ball inside, outside. There was Jack O'Neill. It's bobbling around here. They're just hitting the ground, though. That's the trouble. Big Woods, he's tried hard. Going to bomb that ball forward. Player in front for Glenunga. Ball hits the ground. Can't quite get it up. Gepps Cross. Back comes Mason. This way, that way. Pushes about 5 of them off. O'Neill it is again. Straightens up in front of goal. And he's kicked it. Just worked so hard there, O'Neill, to get through and showed the other players away. And they've popped one back, but all too late, I'd say.
Yes.
And if we actually look at the scoring shots, it's 13 scoring shots to, if that person can just get out of the way there. 13 scoring
22.
shots, 6 goals, 7 to 9 goals, 13. So, yeah, 22 scoring shots. So, in reality, the scoreboard, it could have been a blowout a lot bigger for Gepps Cross, really.
24-point margin.
Like you said, Tony, that was well done by Jack Wood. Just kept pushing the footy forward. Nothing's fancy. Just kept working. Got it inside 50. He's been one of Gepps' best today. He's tried pretty hard.
Yeah.
Coming up 25-minute mark, it's going to be too late now. They need 4 goals to just break even, and it's not going to happen. So up it comes, down it comes onto the ground. Glenunga will be happy. Another ball up, boys. We're getting close to that final siren. To our right, pretty much of the Glenunga crowd, they're going to erupt, and to our left is the Gepps Cross crowd, and they're just watching this and saying, well, we are going up to Division 3. That's the handy bit. Oh, player playing for the free. The umpires have let it go all day long.
Yeah, they've been
dribbles
good.
out.
Been
Big Woods
really,
again.
really good.
He just tends to bang that ball forward, and Webber can't get it over the back. Oh, and gang tackle there, and they stole it there. Ellis Aaron, player on the ground for
second
Gepps
best
Cross.
on ground for mine, Alex Harron.
Really played
Only
well.
just as
Just
well.
damaging, is he?
Yeah.
First time I've seen him live, Harron, but he's just damaging.
Look for Reid. Andy Reid on the lead. It rhymes. Gets it, takes it. He'll go this way. He'll go that way. He'll go out of bounds and say, ball it in.
So
Thanks.
Glenunga
down
won
on the
really
ground.
without a huge influence from one of the Wonkies, or McMahon or Reid, really.
Yeah, absolutely.
Player on the far side for Glenunga is down. Just rolling around now. I don't know whether he's done an ankle or what's happening. Umpire's
He's holding
just
his
watching.
head, mate. So unless he kicked himself in the head with the ankle.
Can't tell who it is from here.
Credit to them.
Spencer Prowse,
they're
maybe.
calling, they're calling for the stretcher. So not good. Although he's up on his knees.
Is that Beard?
No, it's Prowse, I reckon.
I reckon it's Prowse, yeah.
Credit to the...
He's risen up onto the knees and he's lifted onto the feet here, boys. What a resurrection.
It'll feel better in a minute, Spence.
Credit to the Glenunga defence, the no-name brand, and also to Manning, who did an absolutely outstanding job today and has to be behind the best players.
And look, they were good across, I said that at the start of the game.
And we don't mean to be disrespectful, do we? By saying, you guys have said no-name brand, but... they're not your Guy Wards and these types of ex-league players, but they do a job and they've done it well. And Brian Lees was a defender, and he's obviously educated them well in the roles of playing defence, and they stand up with their structures.
And Gratz and that, they take the ball boundary side, they chop arms.
Goal square, one final magic moment maybe. No, ball spill.
Undersized too, the
Josh Ball.
back line.
Yep.
Manning's not the biggest fullback you'll ever see.
No.
Neither is Mitchell at centre back, but they just get a job done.
I was worried today he might have been undersized, but he's done a fantastic job. Yeah.
Flying.
O'Neill, Larkham, hasn't he put in? And just looking at the bench there, the Glenunga boys were quite happy celebrating, and Brian Lee's just walking up and back, holding the head. He's pretty happy about it. Have a look at him there. He's just coming up, chatting with a few people, patting them on the back of the head, arms around, rubbing Prowsey on the top of the head. He's going to enjoy this.
You have a look, Ellis, Spencer Prowse or young Dylan Smith, all playing back there. Jack Harford, Tom Mitchell. No big names, is there really? Manning, they've done a great job. The whole
share the load.
6-7, yeah.
Share the load.
But they do all good things that good defenders do. So
So they're all the fans are now to our right are all just walking down towards the fence. Brian Lee's walking around the boundary line. He can't wait for the siren. Gepps cross
28 minutes
forward line
gone.
here. Yeah, there's Glenunga taking high that player. So another free kick here. Just for the supporters watching there, there's a whole pile of people just heading down towards the fence now. For Glenunga, they're going to erupt down by the fence here.
Payneham are through to the prelim next week, but looks like it's against Ross Trevor. Last year's grand final is a prelim.
So the ball comes out on the far side. Gepps cross mark. And wheeling around there, that's their fullback. He's gone long there.
Than the last 5 minutes of a grand final when you know you've got it.
One.
Yeah, when you
Quick kick out the pack, but it's Manning back there. And I'll tell you what, if you're doing best and fairest votes, I reckon he could just about get it.
He won't win the
club.
medal, TJ, but he has been almost the most influential on the ground.
Most definitely taking out.
Arguably most important.
Yeah.
So just a long high kick there. Manning again, one of the ones we were talking about earlier. And big towering mark is Big Wonky. He has taken just a towering mark at the top of the height of the flight.
He's in no rush to get it on either.
As he gets that outside 50.
Not a big year by his standards after last year. Harry Prosser has been really good today.
So one of the shorter players there
time for one more highlight here.
Coming inside, he had a player free inside.
There it is.
The siren
That's the only highlight you need.
Brian Lees puts the hands to the head. He's happy. They're all running.
2018 Premiers, Glenunga. Division 4 Premiers.
So we've got a rocket scientist behind us, so that's good.
Yeah. And hard to begrudge Glenunga. Finished minor Premiers, had a bit of a hiccup in the second set, had more scoring shots. It's hard to say that they weren't the best team all year.
Brian Lees too, touch of class in, ran straight over to Adam Vittler to shake hands, so yeah.
It's not too hard to shake hands when you win.
No, but I mean...
No, every year we've seen it, he shakes hands.
Vitz would be obviously distraught losing a grand final, and, that's fantastic, yeah.
And look at Brian Lees there. He's just run out to the far wing there, and he's celebrating with a lot of the players all getting around. Look, it is a great feeling. As I said, that last 5 minutes of a game when you know you've got it won, and that feeling now when that siren goes it's unbelievable to someone that hasn't experienced it. You can't describe that feeling. You have to live it and be a part of it. And good luck to them. And they've won 2 premierships in a row, Division 5, Division 4. Now they're going to go hunting in Division 3. They'll come up against Gepps Cross again.
As we all know, as Padgy knows, Tommy, yourself, footy doesn't start, in March. Yeah, it's all that pre-season, all the bloody hard work that goes with it.
Unless you play D grade, then it's Thursday before round 1.
It really is now. It's a 9.5, 10 months sort of thing, isn't it? So it's a lot of hard work.
You have a baby in that time. Boys, just quickly, final result was Glenunga 9-13-67, Gepps Cross 6-7-43. Thanks to Harley Heaven and the firm, who've been our scoreboard sponsor all year. Most of the goals were kicked, I believe, to the Pernix, or was it the Hydro? Either way, with Pernix and Hydrosmart, thanks for your sponsorship. Goal kickers today, Guy Ward with 3, best for me, most important probably, anyway at least. Harry Prosser with 3, 2 to Nick Wonky, 1 to Josh Henke. For Gepps Cross, who didn't throw in the towel, the red card made it tough though. Jack Gibbs kicked 2, I liked his game. Singles to Josh Ball, Jack O'Neill, Daniel Mason and Matthew Schmid. I'm going to throw to Tony Neal for your top 5 or 6 players from Glenunga, and then we're going to go to Ryan Padgett for his top 5 or 6 players for Gepps Cross.
Yeah, I'd say Glenunga, if we went through the list there, certainly Guy Ward, Javier Larkham, Alex Haran, certainly his second half was fantastic. That left foot kick that hits the target just about every time. Lincoln Bennett at times. We looked down. Harry Prosser came in with his 3 goals. Aaron Manning down back. We spoke about some of these players, but really liked his game down back as well. So Nick Wonky, he's chipped in with 2. I tell you, I didn't mind was, and he's got a big future ahead of him, is Tom Butterworth. He just runs and runs, and he knows his footy. So there was one particular point there where he chipped a kick out to someone and get it back and off it up again and so on. So the future augurs well for Glenunga, certainly.
I think on the Gepps side, I think Matty Sawilski across half back had a pretty good game. He tried hard, tried to create things even if they didn't always come off. I think he was probably pretty good. The 2 big boys in the middle, Schmidt and Mason, they worked hard. Hard to find anyone probably forward of the footy for Gepps who could probably say they had a big impact on it. Manny Otis had a good first half, didn't really see a lot of him in the second half. Gibbs did what he could, probably with some limited opportunities, and Jack Wood in the ruck probably busted his gut too. They were probably the best for Gepps. Callum Camp across down back too took some nice intercept marks, but ultimately probably just beaten it in most facets, especially on the outside.
It was interesting before the game. Hosey said, I can't remember, 12. I said 12 points. You said 10 points. Maybe you said 8 points. 16 points. We're actually all pretty much on the money. Maybe if you take the red card out of it, perhaps it comes back to 12 to 16 points. But in the end, you just felt like that first quarter they did enough into the breeze to control the game, and I always felt like they were going to win.
They kicked the 4 goals, 1 to 1 goal, 1 in the last quarter as well as Glenunga. We just see them in the middle singing the song. Have a look at them in there. They're a happy bunch, and there'd be a couple of hundred supporters around them at the moment. That's a huge crowd out there on the ground.
500, I reckon.
They're enjoying it, and Gepps Cross are pretty much. It's the players and pretty much the coaching staff.
It's a very lonely place out there.
Yeah, that's it. And it is. It's a contrast.
Full credit to Gepps Cross as well, Tony. So just the one Pelican behind us who obviously felt the need to try and get his voice on radio there and shout obscenities, but they have been so well behaved. They've had a rough day losing 3 grand finals. You know what it's like, Padge. Sorry to bring it up again. I've been there. I've lost grand finals. I've lost a grand final on the last kick of the game. I thought actually we had won. So it's tough. It's tough to lose these things, but full credit to a club that will move forward. Sorry, Tony. So I just wanted to say well done, Gepps Cross. I'm sure the Northgate Community Club will still be a great place to be tonight, and they'll celebrate what has been a pretty good season, albeit falling at the last hurdle.
And I think also, if you look at football these days, just on that, Gepps Cross were a tough, hard team and so on. But there was nothing apart from 1 red card. There was no, there wasn't like there were fights and brawls and so on going in the game. It was a good ding-dong battle, and there was a lot of that old-fashioned one-on-one on a great day for football, but the old one-on-one positional, the on-ballers were getting not able to keep up with the play and so on, so it became a lot of that who's going to win their position. Glenunga leading up to the ball, the players jumping on to get a chain of handballs, chain of kicks, and Larkham. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see who gets best. I reckon Larkham, toss it up, Heron, Guy Ward. But they're a quality team, aren't they? Across the board.
They are. And the difference, just from watching it, when Glenunga were able to get on top and win the footy, they were clean away from stoppages. Once they got the first handball out of a stoppage, they had some room to move. Harron and Ward and Reed, these guys, a lot cleaner on the outside. Gepps had to work hard for their goals, just scrap it forward, which is their go. They're a lot more contested, but ultimately with the bigger space, probably, like as Hosey said earlier, probably suited Glenunga.
Sorry, Paige, just as they're coming off, the umpires, that's how to umpire a grand final. Pay the bleeding obvious. You could not complain about them today.
And it wasn't me time amongst them either.
I don't know any of those umpires personally, but they were fantastic.
Yeah.
None of and I have huge criticisms of someone like a Razor Ray who seems to want to get his face on TV. Are you two going up?
It's me time.
The two umpires, they just did the job, and didn't at any point find a reason to pluck crap out.
Yeah.
And that's a good grand final, well umpired.
Well
done to the umpires and whoever appointed them. I guess that was Colin, probably, but well done. Sorry, boys, carry on.
Just some scores around the grounds. We've got certainly Teacher Gully 10-16-76 final, defeated Ross Trevor 9-4-58. We know that Payneham Nord Union have beaten Goodwood Saints, so next week a preliminary final, we're guessing at Daily Oval between Ross Trevor and Payneham. In Division 2, Brighton have beaten Foss Camden from the last score. Division 3, we know that there's a hold up there with an ambulance, so that's quite a while away. Scotch are 8 points in front, 20 minutes into the third quarter when the ambulance is called. CBC have apparently won over Woodville South
comfortably,
and Marion were about 4 or 5 goals in front of
Marion and Div 7 premiers.
Yeah, well done to Marion. So another Rams get up for the day. Yeah.
And Woody South, just in that game against CBC, they come from 4th position to get to there, so they're going up.
Wonky,
5th position.
Just leaving here with his dad.
With his dad. And I'm just looking, the other one's up in the grandstand talking to a grandma or family or something.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Got straight across to
now
the family.
Let's just hope that everyone does the right thing here as he walks through the Gepps Cross faithful, and
You better get back soon. They're about to come and do the prezos. So
that is interesting.
Yeah, but do you know what? If Dad and Mum and Grandma are here, and he's not going to win best on ground medal, but
obviously there's a reason. So yeah, good on him.
Or maybe he's just got some Sheila up there, and
no, his brother's up there, so
wants to get a celebratory one after the game.
Chat.
Grandma might not be able to walk out to the middle, I think.
Yes. Okay. Anyway, we digress.
See if we can see who won the best. I'm not sure we'll be able to see it with so many people in the way.
Have a look. Yeah, someone in a blue and blue jumper, I'd say, but Yeah, there's a lot of people still out
let's
there.
Speculate, because some people are probably still listening who can't get to games today. It can only really be any one of two players for me. Guy Ward can only be Guy Ward or
Manning,
Alex Harron.
or Manning.
Yeah, they won't give it to Manning.
Prosser?
Prosser
was okay.
Yeah.
I don't think Manning will get it. I'm with you. I think Ward and Harron are probably the two most influential.
Harron's probably had 35 touches, wouldn't he?
And uses it. Stands out the way he uses it with the left foot.
So Harron gets inside touches and spread touches, and the left foot. But Guy Ward's two-footed ability, I hate that saying, his ambidexterity is just quite phenomenal.
But once again, is another midfield medal. You have a look. Manning's kept the most influential forward of Gepps Cross goalless.
Won the goal kicking for the year.
Who's kicked 6-2 and 6 against them in 3 games. I mean, you can't do much more than that.
And just while we're watching, waiting for the formalities to take place, there's 2 players from Glenunga up in the far grandstand, and if you can have a look out at the crowd there's players left, right, centre, all walking off with family members and different people getting photos, and poor old Gepps Cross is standing there saying, we've got to get through this all together. And there's just photos going off and so on because the formalities are about to start, and it's just quite interesting. 2 different camps, and the Glenunga boys are all
that's just grand final day. There's a winner and a loser, and the winners going green and the losers please themselves. Really.
Boys, I don't know where we're going to be next week, but wherever we are, it's going to be a huge game. I'm just going to head on out for a little bit. I made a promise to someone I want to keep, so thanks very much. If you're off the air by the time I get back, thanks for listening. It's been an absolute pleasure for the SA Football Network.
I've got I've given Simon the video on that, so we've got everything being captured out there for us, so that's great.
There's a hard 10 minutes for Gepps Cross. It's not much fun sitting there and watching the blokes you've just played against win their medals. But kudos to them for staying out there. We've seen in the past some teams have sort of walked off without really thinking. But kudos to Gepps who have stayed out there. I think they've done it for all 3 grades today. And stayed out there and been part of the presentation. So well done to them.
I think Adam Bittler might be having a chat there or something. I can just see him right in the middle there. And Gepps Cross players have wandered over. So the formalities have started, and a few people standing around listening, and it's the Glenunga team pretty much all shading the sun from their eyes.
Just
waiting for their moment.
Message in from the Thebarton Oval, Jeff Hurd. They've had a 70-minute third quarter there, an ambulance. Johnson from Scotch taking an ambulance. It's now 3-quarter time and Scotch 15 points up. So there's still a full quarter to be played there at Thebarton. So
they might not get the lights on out there, although it'll be a late finish. Geez, that's interesting. That's grand final too, isn't it? So, wow.
Good thing it's there and not somewhere else, though, you'd say. Good thing it's not at a suburban ground that might not have the capabilities for it.
We were at Ungner Mercedes this year, and 3-quarter time, just before 3-quarter time, a lad got done, got hurt, called the ambulance, and they were just over an hour, and it was nearly 6 o'clock, and in the end, the 2 coaches just shook hands and didn't play the final quarter. It was just pitch black.
Just let it go.
Oh, well, Andrew Jarman and in the end, the umpires just called it off, so, yeah. We're at North Haven last year, and someone broke a leg. They had to call the game off halfway through the third quarter. Ambulance, because they take an hour to get there, and rightly so. They won't touch the player, and they make sure everything's right, and